Welcome back to the FanTEAsy Podcast, where two besties spill all the delicious tea on the books we read. I'm Callie, and my bestie is Montana.
We are so excited to be back continuing our series on Fourth Wing. This episode, we are deep diving into chapters 16 through 20. As you know, in each episode, we are diving into characters, world building, signets, dragons, and even some fan theories. So please take note and prepare to enter Basgiath War College.
Although we know it isn't that easy to get into the writer's quadrant, we have made it, and we have passed threshing. But first off, this book is a full deep dive and breakdown of Fourth Wing. If you have not read all of the book, please go and finish and rush back here. We will be discussing all of the Empyrean series in each episode, even if we are just covering a few chapters per episode. That means that we will definitely say things that don't necessarily happen in the selected chapters for that episode. We say this because we are human, and sometimes our mouths work faster than our brains. Things will come out, and we do not want to spoil anything for anyone if you have not read both books yet.
Truth. Along with not wanting to spoil the journey of the story, please take note that we are adults. We're having adult conversation. We'll be swearing. We'll be talking about, murder and other just graphic content. So we are rating this episode R. Also, we know there's controversy on pronunciation, okay? Between Scottish Gaelic and how Rebecca wrote it, Audible, all of that. We're doing our best. If you pronounce it differently, it's cool. We're all chill here. If you are a fan of the FanTEAsy Podcast, please consider leaving us a review or a rating on anywhere that you can find your podcast, because, man, Callie just put us out there everywhere, and it's so exciting that we're even more accessible to everybody now, which is so cool. And then also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the things really help us grow our journey so we can continue forward on bringing this content to you guys. And we just love sharing this journey with you.
Yay! Now with that, I have the most important question. Are you ready for it?
The best question.
The best question. Goes wild. The crowd goes wild.
Okay, but before we even get into Fourth Wing, guys, the Tortured Poets department just came out, and we are obsessed. So, I mean, really, is it even a question? Callie, what era are you in right now?
I honestly felt stupid texting you that earlier because I was like, please say Tortured Poets department. Please tell me we're just living in this era, because it's so good. Taylor did not fail us. We stayed up. We were texting the night of. We were like, okay, what song are you on? What's happening? Where are you at? What do you feel? And then I did fall asleep. I'm Central Time. I did fall asleep. I missed the second half of the drop, which is even better. But thank you, Taylor.
Tortured Poets me being in Pacific time, we're fortunate in the Pacific time zone over here. I was like, okay, I only have to stay up till 9:00 for this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, 11 o'clock, double album. So I'm texting Callie. I'm like, double album, even though I know she's asleep. It's fine. We're fine.
So bitter. But I did wake up and listened all to the rest. And okay, so we'll go this route, because obviously we're Tortured Poets department era currently. But what is, and I know we kind of discussed this too, what's your favorite song? And it changes all the time because everything is so new and we're learning all the songs. What's your current fave song from the album today?
Okay, it's tied between two right now, just because of the two different vibes. But I mean, we all know, where I'm going with this. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, 100%. Because like you said, it's the millennial bop in us, and we're just like, yeah, but we're also dying inside.
It's fine.
So I love that one. But also the Black Dog. Honestly, that one, it just breaks my heart in the best way possible. It's great. Where are you sitting with your favorites right now?
Okay, well, from current dance party that we just had. So fun fact, we always start our episodes with a dance party, and it just really like sets the mood for the whole episode. So yeah, I Could Do It With a Broken Heart was definitely our dance party song today. I love it. It is fulfilling like everything I need. My birthday's next month, and it's my birthday every day right now. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm spoiling myself. I'm getting ready for my birthday. It's a big birthday. It's overwhelming. It's great. It's going to be great. I'm going to have a great year because we're doing this. And
she's turning 21, guys.
Yay! Happy 21st. And then my second right now is probably Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. And
so good.
I love it. It's so good. And like in my car, I'm like belting because I'm like, that's right. Like, you should be afraid of me. You should.
Absolutely.
I'm a force to be reckoned with on some days. Absolutely. And then others I'm like, don't actually, I'm not confrontational. So it's so good. It's so good. She did not disappoint. This whole album is like, thank you, Taylor. It's just what I needed.
It really is. And we both ordered it on vinyl, so we're just going to be jamming nonstop.
My kids are going to be sick of it, and well, I guess I probably won't listen a whole lot when they're home. There's a lot more explicit songs on this one, which
there is, yes.
I'm here for. I'm so here for it.
Doesn't bother me.
The vinyl was too cool to pass up.
100%. Yeah.
It's great. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, and we both got the Target special edition, so just beautiful.
Just
and
me,
also,
sitting there
if you notice, we are wearing our new Bookish Dreamers merch that we talked about in a few episodes ago. So we both got the Taylor Swift We Never Go Out of Style shirt. Has our Throne of Glass, our ACOTAR, and our Crescent City. Just so cute. We got some other things too. You'll be able to see them on our Instagrams. But yes, we are here. We are repping our stuff. Allie, these are great. We love you. Thank you for making
so good.
Beautiful, yes, wonderful merch.
I am obsessed. As an ACOTAR girly through and through, I've officially started Throne of Glass series, and so now this shirt like feels way more like wholesome to me of like, okay, we're venturing into the next series. And it's heartbreaking, but also exciting because I'm ready for like new characters. I'm ready to be wrecked again, much like Taylor wrecked me with this album. Sarah J. Maas is going to wreck my heart with these books, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
Ugh, I love to be destroyed. It's like a
If you've read Kingdom of Ash, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is so Aelin coded, so I can't wait for you to get there. Like, Callie's just starting Throne of Glass. I have read ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. I'm just starting Crescent City. I'm halfway through House of Earth and Blood, so we're really just like in our SJM mood, but also in our Fourth Wing mood.
Yes. Yeah, we are, because these chapters were these were beefy,
they were so good.
Full, like there were certain things like when I was rereading these chapters, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard like some things that were like so notable that I like very vividly remember happening about a specific Jeremiah, but also things that like details that I forgot, like that we'll get to soon, but like Amber, that detail slipped my mind. Like the attack, no, but the Amber detail, yes. So I'm excited. It's been
you know what? We just need to jump into this because
yeah,
that's true.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We just need to jump into this because we are super excited. Clearly, Callie, start us off with our whole big 16 through 20 monologue.
Okay. Chapter 16. Threshing is over and back on the flight field. We are shocked and excited as Violet has announced her bond to both Taryn and Andarna. Woo! That's our girl, as Riddick would say. But with great power comes great responsibility, and some seem to think that Violet can't handle 2 dragons, let alone Taryn, and the choice is pushed on her to choose one. When Violet tells Dane she will be choosing one of them, tensions rise. Luckily, Taryn is near and tells her the choice will not be hers to make. The dragons abide by their own set of rules, and what they say goes. Violet is officially marked and bonded to 2 powerful dragons, but also now bonded to Xaden. I would like Xaden to bondage me up. I mean, bond with me. I mean, any of the above. With all the excitement and celebration taking place on the flight field, Dane claims this moment and steals a kiss from Violet. But fuck that. Where is Xaden? Chapter 17. Now that we have crossed the Dane Bridge and hated it, we can move on, and finally Violet can live happily ever after. Sort of. The new bonded riders are assigned to new rooms, which is giving them all a sense of freedom to get their freak on. Yay for them. For relieving some stress, if you know what I mean. Haha, wink, wink. Now, having bonded all the riders, they have added flight lessons into their daily schedule. While Violet is obviously a new rider, she is still the weakest and struggles to hold her seat. At the instruction of Xaden, Imogen has offered to help strength train Violet so she can learn to hold her own. If Violet didn't know any better, she would think this was Imogen's way of trying to kill her herself. But luckily for Vi, she is tethered to Xaden and Imogen, and the gesture is sincere. Chapter 18. Welcome to the archives. Whoop whoop. Violet's home away from the Rider Quadrant, the place she feels safest. Here we meet Justinia, our favorite little scribe. The two catch up and share their recent successes. While Violet is feeling a sense of home, she reaches out to Justinia to find the Fables of the Baron, the book of folklore tales her dad read to her growing up. With no such luck, Justinia sends Violet on her way back to the library. At lunch, we learn that some of the riders are beginning to manifest their signets. Yay! But when Sawyer learns he can manipulate metals, he is less concerned with how he can use it as a weapon to hurt others and more concerned with how he will eat his lunch without hurting himself. The desire to manifest becomes more apparent in each rider in order to not physically combust from having not. Violet continues to take on flight lessons, and for the life of me, I don't know why Taryn hasn't let her fall to her death, as she seems to be the only one who has to be caught on more occasions than not. Of course, we have another crybaby Dane moment, but let's not even get into talking about that right now. Not worth it. Instead, we could talk about the crazy wild moment when poor Jeremiah manifests his signet and goes batshit crazy. As he comes running into the courtyard screaming, we learn he is an intensic and can read people's minds. Unfortunately for him, this means bye-bye, Jeremiah. After Violet has gone to bed, she is quickly woken up by a deep voice inside of her head ordering her to wake before you die. Violet escapes the first stab solely from the armor in her vest, but when 6 angry, unbonded riders are standing over her, she needs to make a damn plan quick, or she will be the dead, unbonded rider. Chapter 19. When time freezes just enough for Xaden to come to her rescue, Violet is both shocked and thankful to see his beautiful fucking face. After completely annihilating all the idiot unbonded, Xaden takes Violet out to the flight field to figure out what the hell just happened. Chapter 20. My favorite chapter of this section. Duh. Because justice is swift and sometimes a bitch. The next day, as the 6 now dead riders' names are read from the death roll, Violet feels little sadness for what they did. When Xaden steps up to call for justice on the missing rider in question, well, shit hits the fan. Dane's jaw drops like the dumb trout he is when Amber Mavis is called into question for having assisted the unbonded riders into Violet's room. Karma is a bitch, or whatever Jojo Siwa said. Amber deserved what she had coming for her. Mic drop.
We just rewrote Jojo Siwa's song. It's karma's a bitch. Amber should have known better.
Yes.
I love this.
So many good great moments in these chapters. So many good moments.
Seriously.
Like fucking Christmas over here. I got so many good moments.
We aren't even halfway through this book.
Oh, don't put that on me.
I think it's our yeah, no, it's our next segment that'll get us, I think, to the halfway point. Or it might be this one. Oh,
this
it might actually
like
be
right
this
at
one.
half.
No, this is our halfway
this might
point.
Be like right
so
at. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the end of chapter 20 is the halfway point. So
nice.
After this episode, we are halfway through this book. That is wild.
It has been like so fun and so like shocking almost to relive this whole like book and series. Like, I don't know, just having read so many different things in between. Like I said, there were so many details that like I missed, but also when my heart like skitters still as I'm rereading, I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, just the little ones that I'm like, oh yeah. Or things that I've now noticed that were total foreshadowing that I'm like, you dumb bitch. Why didn't you see that before?
You've never read this book. You don't know this world. Why didn't you catch it?
Why didn't you catch that, you stupid idiot? I know.
Gosh, like,
it's like you should have known.
Slapping yourself with this, right?
You should have known better. Oh my god.
Why is this our life right now? Why is JoJo Siwa living rent free in our heads?
Oh god, I don't know. Make room, because it's in there now.
The song is
can't get her out.
Awful. But I mean,
putting it nicely.
Just to put it very blunt, it's catchy, but it's just terrible. And okay, this is my qualm with this song. She's gonna say karma's a bitch, but then I shouldn't have effed around. Like, you're gonna say bitch, but you can't say fuck. Really? Just, if you're gonna go out there, be out there.
I think be out there. But it's not even the song that bothers me, it's the video. And I did myself a disservice by watching it.
Dude, I watched the premiere of it.
And I feel like I've like followed JoJo for so long. Like, I was a Dance Moms fan. Like, even to the point where I think a few years ago I rewatched a lot of it, which I don't know why I thought that was important to do. But I was a JoJo fan. I was. And now I'm like, girl, that video was just not it. Your mother should have said, no, not that one.
Gene Simmons from Wish humping everything, and it's weird.
No, it's super hot. So hot. So fetch.
So fetch.
Okay. All right.
Chapter 16. Do you want to give us a summary?
She's taking up too much of our precious podcast time. We need to move on. Chapter 16 summary. On the flight field, all hell breaks loose as Violet has announced she has bonded not one, but 2 dragons. Both Taryn and Andarna have chosen Violet Soaringale. Violet shuffles off to get her arm looked at by the field medics, but her main concern is if any of her other squad mates made it back or if they have even bonded. Please let them be alive. Rhiannon, Trina, Riddick, and Sawyer, all of them. After she gets bandaged up, Violet heads back across the flight field, but the dragons are conducting a meeting of their own. The Empyrean has gathered in order to discuss the issue at hand, Violet's 2 dragons. Meanwhile, Violet scans the crowd to find all of her friends. Thankfully, they are all bonded and excited to share their excitement with each other. That was a word vomit of excitement. Don't just ignore that. Then suddenly, their conversation is cut short and Dane takes Violet away from the others. Tensions rise as the 2 begin to argue, but when Xaden interjects, the conversation comes to a close as the dragons return to the flight field. It isn't up to the humans to decide. The dragons make their own rules, and the decision stands. Violet is bonded to 2 amazing dragons. Taryn, along with the other dragons, make their mark on the riders, signifying they have chosen and are now bonded. With the excitement and chatter happening all around them, Dane steals a long-awaited kiss from Violet. Chef's kiss. Just kidding.
Gordon Ramsay would be like, you donkey. Not a chef's kiss.
I am...
Ugh.
It's truly frustrating on the on the reread. Initially, but even not, because initially she's like, I feel nothing. So you're like, same. And at this point, I'm already frustrated with Dane, like having read the first time. But now on the reread, it's like, if a man presses himself onto you like that, disgusting. Disgusting. Like, get your face out of mine right now. I'm gonna bite your fucking tongue off.
Bite your fucking tongue off. So when I was reading this chapter and tabbing my notes for the podcast, I'm starting to text Callie. So I just scrolled in our conversation. I literally am texting her. I want to scream at Dane in this chapter. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up already, you bitch baby. Quote, the gold one is the safest choice of the two. You know what, Dane? No one fucking cares about your stupid ass opinion. She just bonded 2 dragons. The most iconic dragon and then a baby. Literally all the things that are supposed to be impossible, and yet he's still bitching. I was going off. I was pissed.
Crybaby Dane. Crybaby Dane. Oh,
Baby
God,
wah
it makes
wah.
me so mad. Baby wham wham. Oh, I don't know. There was just so much happening, like, in the start of this chapter. Yeah. And then for it to, like, progress to, like, not that I'm pissed that he's like, oh yeah, because I am pissed that he's like, you have to pick one, like, as if he fucking has any clue how any of this works. He's out here like, you have to pick, and then for me to be boiling by the end of the chapter because he's like, here, come here, let me kiss you. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
With something hard and sandpapery. If you know what that's from, I'm so glad, because that's such a millennial thing.
What are you saying?
What? Oh my gosh. It's you know the guy who made the shoes video?
Yes. Oh my God,
so
shoes.
He made a different video that it wasn't as popular as shoes, but it's called Let Me Borrow That Top. And the girl won't let him borrow the top, and he's like, go fuck yourself with something hard and sandpapery.
Okay, no.
So that has just like lived with me for the last 15 years.
You have aged yourself. That was your own doing. Now everyone knows.
It's fine, because I'm hoping people actually understand.
I'm fine. That was good. No, I have not heard that one, and I appreciate that so very much, because he should. I fucking hate you, Dane. I hate you, and you should.
I mean,
just go jump off a bridge.
That should also go fuck themselves with something hard and sandpapery is Jack fucking Barlow. And how in the fuck did he get to bond? Like, why are these dragons like, oh yeah, this little bitch ass who tried to kill someone and then ran away, I'm gonna bond him.
I just don't know how, between the dragons themselves, like, that whole that scenario, because Oren didn't bond, and they were like, oh, it's probably because Taryn, like, told the other dragons. Why didn't Taryn tell the other dragons about Jack?
Right. Or okay, I know I read it as Bade. When I was looking at actual pronunciations, Bade is supposed to be said differently. I don't really know, so I'm gonna get to that later. But maybe his dragon just didn't care.
I feel like they had something in here about it. Because he's a red scorpion tail, correct?
Yes. Oh no, orange scorpion tail.
Orange. Oh, okay. I was gonna say red, ruthless, but orange.
No, he's an orange.
I don't know.
But Bade is noted to be very small and not really one to like create strong bonds. So that's interesting. Maybe Bade's just like, oh, you're kind of like the last one left, but I said I was willing to bond, so I guess I'll choose you.
They both kind of just were wandering aimlessly and, like, got lucky, stumbled upon each other. Honestly, I don't know. The whole Jack fucking Barlow. The whole scene, like, it's funny to me that he's like quick to jump down Violet's throat and like cause a scene, but then like Kaori like puts him in his fucking place.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
what is there something I need to know?
Yeah, and Jack's like, you're hiding behind our instructors now, Sorengale? And Kaori's just like, oh no, Violet. She's like, I didn't hide out there and I'm not fucking hiding in here. Like, let's go. I'm not the one who ran away, you bitch. Ugh.
And then
Jack
Kaori says,
Barlow.
As aggressive as Bade might be, from the way Tarn's looking at you, he'll have no problem scorching your bones into the earth if you take another step toward his rider. And that's when Jack is just like, come again? His rider?
Literally. Kaori is like, tell it to him straight. He's just like, fuck you, Jack Barlow, this dumb motherfucker. And you totally know too that Jack has like the dumbest look on his face, and he's like, you? Like it's you? And then I just like picture Phyllis from The Office. Close your mouth, sweetie. You look like a trout.
Stop it! The moment you said Phyllis, I knew where you were going with that.
So like, you? Like, he is just dumb as fuck. He's so stupid.
Oh, yeah, and the wheels in his brain are turning, because then he's like, oh my gosh, consequences to my own actions. And he's like, I don't know what she told you about what happened out there. And he's just like, nothing. Is there something I need to know? Like, okay, Violet's not a snitch, all right? Snitches get stitches.
She's the best.
She is. She's the best.
I did love it too. Like when they're still on the flight field, speaking on Violet's character, how she's bonded this massive, powerful dragon, and then Andarna, and the whole reasoning was because she protected Andarna. So now she has these two dragons, but like still her main concern is, where are my friends? Where are they? Have they bonded? Are they safe? Like, and that just, bye. Sweet bye. Like, she is becoming the ruthless rider that we'll know her as. Yeah. Who's afraid of little old me? You will be. But right now, the whole journey is built upon this character that she has of family, friends first. I will protect you. I will help you. No one is, like, she's not out here just like ruthlessly killing like Jack is. And fucking Jack Barlow. God, I fucking hate him. I don't know at this point who is worse. We should play a game. Who would be the third? Hold on. Okay, I have it. Oh no, that's too easy. I have to think of a third.
A third of who's the... Oh, no. We are not playing Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yes, we are. How did you know?
Because the third, you need 3 people for this game.
I love that you knew. Oh my god. Yes, we're playing. But who would it be? Fuck, marry, kill. Dane, Jack.
Do they have to be alive still?
It's too obvious. No, I was gonna say Liam, but that's too obvious too.
Because we're thinking,
that's pretty hard.
If we're thinking worse people, then because like Tynan, Oren, Luca, like all those people are pretty fucking stupid too, but they're dead.
Excuse me, sorry, I have to cough. Okay.
Or okay.
No, it could
if
be
you want another bad one, you could say Venom.
Oh my god. Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Dane, Jack, Venom. Go. What the fuck is this?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, go. Your answer's wrong. I already know it.
They're all wrong.
Right?
All right. So, We're gonna kill Jack. Just off with Jack. We're gonna fuck the venom, I guess. But here's my deal with marrying Dane. But I want to marry Dane, but have it be like a goodbye Earl situation.
I will help you bury the body, I promise.
Well, duh. You're the other half of my counterpart.
I think I would go. I think that's the route I would have to go to. But then you have little crybabies and like.
Oh no!
But
no.
We're
just offing him before anything happens. Like, no, I'm just not ready.
Immediately. I think that's cheating the game, but okay.
That's the only way I can get through this.
What if you do it? What if it's still kill Jack, but fuck Dane, marry Venom? We don't know anything about these Venom. Like, they could still be. I just love
the fact that the Venom, as of our current knowledge, is like the worst thing possible. They're so fucking evil, and yet we're like, kill Jack.
Oh my god. I fucking hate Jack Barlow. He's gotta go. Sorry, no. Sorry, not sorry. Not sorry at all. No, he's gotta go. I think it's kill Jack, fuck Dane, marry Venom. And I just think we just don't know. And plus, spoiler, Satan's Venom. So how do we know it's not that Venom?
Stop.
Could it be any Venom? Can I manipulate this game? My Venom is Zayden Venom.
That's a really good point. I mean, I manipulated it with my answer about going goodbye Earl on Dane. You can manipulate it to Zayden Venom.
That's true.
I approve these rules.
Perfect. Okay, that was fun.
Wow. We really went there.
That went so far off. So far off.
Different
Thanks little stuck through that because
different little segue here. So Violet is still on the flight field talking to Professor Kaori, and she asks him, she's like, has anyone ever bonded two dragons? And he's like, actually, you would be the first. Not sure why they're fighting about it though. The decision won't be up to them. And she's like, oh shit. It's not up to the humans, it's up to the dragons. Duh.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Kaori even says nothing about who dragons choose is up to humans. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it was so perfect.
Just turned the page and it was right there. And I'm like, yeah, I noted that. Always on the same page, literally. No, I know. And then Taryn just like giving the reassurance of like, it's up to the Empyrean. Like, dragons are never going to abide by the humans' rules. They're always going to abide by their own, and then humans just have to follow. So I just think it's like, duh. But I love it that it takes the stress away from Violet of having to make that decision. And even then, she's like, fuck no, I'm going to make Tiernan and Darna choose then because I'm not going to be doing it. Like, even if the Empyrean doesn't decide, that's up to them. Because she's like, I'm not doing it. No, bitch. These are my two new besties.
There's no way. There's no way. And then Dane's out here. You have to choose Andarna. Bitch. No.
There's also a ACOTAR surreal moment of Taryn ordering her, stay close to the wing leader until we return.
Stay with the High Lord and you'll be safe.
Stay with the High Lord. And I'm like, stay with the wing leader and you'll be safe. I loved it. Thank you.
That was so great.
Mama says it's going to be A-okay. I know. It's like the perfect... We needed it. But then, they're out on the flight field. She's going back and forth of what the fuck is happening. Now she's cut off from Taryn. She has no communication. He's like locked her out because they're in their Empyrean meeting. And she's like, oh my God, where are my friends? And now like all of them come running over. They're all hugging and celebrating. And literally Riddick.
The best.
Cutest little bestie. Look who rode in on the baddest motherfucker around. Mm-hmm.
Put her down. She's bleeding.
I love him.
Mother Henry Rhiannon.
Oh my God. She's like, quickly, put her down.
What's interesting to note before she even finds her friends is, you know, the dragons are getting ready to fly off to have their Empyrean meeting. And this is the very first time we see General Melgan's dragon, Coda. Like, just terrifying. It says, I make out the patchy holes in his battle-scarred wings as he comes closer, his golden gaze focused on Tarn in a way that makes me nauseous. He growls low in his throat, turning those sinister eyes on me. Tarn rumbles his own growl, stepping forward so I'm between his massive claws. And then there's Andarna just like, yep, we're talking about you.
Yeah. In case you were confused, obviously they're talking about you. Like, duh, bitch. But she's so cute and like such a little baby that she's just like, yeah, by the way.
Yeah, right? But it's an interesting moment. It's like kind of like a power struggle almost, because Coda and Tarn are the two most powerful dragons, and they're not really like head to head, but you know, like they're arguing in their heads and they're like, back and forth with each other. And I don't know, Coda and Melgren just scream suspicious to me this whole time. So it was an interesting power shift there.
Plus, I like that their communication is like that mental communication. So like when you're just standing like in Violet's position outside of this mental conversation that's happening,
yeah,
they're just like chuffing and grunting at each other, and it's like terrifying. Yeah, because they're these massive dragons though, and she's, remember, teeny tiny, so she's just like off to the side like Jesus fuck, or directly in between them, and it's like shit.
I'm like, what?
But
I just thought that was super interesting.
I'm just gonna go over here for a little bit. Yeah,
I'm gonna go find my friends while you go have your meeting. And you know, going back to her friends,
I'll just be over here.
All but one of them bonded. We unfortunately lost Trina, but our friends, these are our friends now.
Minor details.
These are our friends.
This is my squad. This is my new inner circle. These are my people.
Oh my gosh, it's like Jolly Good Ginger on TikTok who like spills the tea. He's like, this is our husband now. You made it public, I'm making it publicer. These are our friends now. These are our dragons.
These are our friends now. These are my friends. And my friend Vi just literally bonded the biggest motherfucker around, so watch out.
No big.
Tarn will eat you.
You look at me
eat
wrong.
You for breakfast.
He's got all of our backs now. I love that. But yeah,
are we talking about? Oh, are we going to talk about the rest of the dragons, or are we waiting till dragon segment?
I'll go more into it in dragon segment, just because we do have some funny things to talk about that one.
So many. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
And you know, we've already kind of briefly touched about Dane and Violet arguing. Dane's being a bitch, saying that she has to choose Andarna, even though Andarna can't bear a rider because she's too small. Like, it's just
baby.
Bullshit here. But you know what? Violet actually is like, no human has ever chosen, and I'm not to be about the first. And then in her head, she's like, and who the hell is Dane to tell me that? Like, she's like, fuck you, Dane.
Fuck you.
But Dane does share some very interesting information about Tarn and Sigale. Okay, pre-K pause quick. So we are just now getting back to recording this episode. We had a little bit of a surprise last week while we were trying to finish recording our episodes. So Callie, what happened?
So, it was a great surprise. It was a happy little surprise, but our dog had puppies, and it was just a little sooner than we thought. So, we had to take a brief intermission, and I had to do some rearranging to accommodate said puppies. So if you are watching, the scenery has changed. So, but also, yeah, we love our puppies. If you saw them on our stories on Instagram, they are little fourth wing babies. So now going forward, we'll have not only the podcast fourth wing episodes, but we'll also have little fourth wing puppies to keep track of and share. And they're so cute. I love them all. And yeah, it was just really quickly happened. And so it kind of threw a wrench in the whole week last week. But we're back and we're going to finish this episode so we can get it done.
It was a good wrench in the week. Just
It
stressful
was
in
just,
the moment.
It was. I just had a lot going on outside of that. And then that happened. And I was like, well, that goes everything out the window because this is kind of priority. And so, yeah, mom and babies are all good. And yeah, they're just growing like weeds. If you happen to hear little squeaks, that's what that is. They're also in my basement. So if you hear them, they're like, not very far from here. So I apologize in advance, but hopefully they remain quiet.
And if you guys remember, Callie and I live in 2 different states. So she's calling me, what do we do? So we're like on the phone delivering these puppies. So I'm like, okay, you know what? New profession, doggy doula over here.
It was like the saving grace though, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have never had puppies before. I want to make sure my dog, who I love very much, is okay. And like these puppies are okay. And it was very scary. And then my vet was great. And she's taking a look at them. And so they're all doing really good. It just was very scary. The day that it happened, it was like raining outside and we didn't know she went into labor. So she was like outside and we had to find her. And it was really an adventure. And honestly, I don't recommend, like, if you know your dog is pregnant, you should probably watch her more than I did because just thought she went out to go to the bathroom. And sure enough, so it was a long day, but like I said, everyone's doing good. They're settled in their little cozy corner that we have. And yeah, I'm excited to keep sharing them. Like I said, they're fourth wing babies. So we have Violet, Rhiannon, Imogen, and Riddick are the 4 that we have. And yeah, they're going to be fun to keep sharing as they grow.
But yeah, let's just continue where we were at in chapter 16. I was just leading you into giving us the bomb drop of what Dane tells Violet.
Oh man. It's like, I don't know, when you're even reading it though, I think it was one of those, like I read and then I like went back and read and like read again, was like, is my brain computing what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
But so they're saying, Dane says, even if you take Indarna into combat, there's only a chance you'll be killed. You take Taryn and Xaden will get you killed. Will get you killed. You think Melgren is terrifying. I've been here for a year longer than you have, Vi. At least you know
throw
what
my
you're getting when it comes to Melgren. Xaden isn't only twice as ruthless, but he's dangerously unpredictable.
Oh God, there's like so many things I love, like enemies to lovers, forced proximity, but like
a mated pair. And
they're
then in this aspect of like, it's the dragons that's now like forcing them together even more. Oh God. That just like floored me the first time I read it. I was like, holy shit, but what does that mean? And then to learn like their bond, like if one of them were to die and how that affects the dragon, and then how it affects their bond, the dragon's bonds, and then how that can affect the other rider. Like, there's so many layers to this.
I swear. And then, he informs her of them being a mated pair, and he's like, just tell me what happened out there. So she, tells him everything, and he's just like, Xaden was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Dane? He's like, don't you see what Xaden's done? And he's just all out here like, please, do tell me what it is you think I've done.
Please do tell me. And for him to be like,
I love that.
In that mindset, though, of like, he manipulated for threshing, he interfered when he shouldn't have, but like, just jumping to that assumption because of who Xaden is.
Yeah, dude, just fuck Dane. Fuck, not in a good way. Fuck Dane. Just
not in a good fucking kill way. Fuck you, Dane. I know.
Fuck you, Dane does. And then, we've just got Dane, like, throwing accusations like it's nothing.
Well, and like, Xaden, though, too, is just like, but is it an official accusation? Because come at me. Come at me.
I don't need my shadows to take you out. I did like that, Dane's like, did you step in? And Xaden's like, did I see her outnumbered and already wounded? Did I think her bravery was admirable as it was fucking reckless? Did I see her fight off 3 bigger cadets? Because the answer to all of those is yes. But you're asking the wrong question. What you should be asking is if Sigale saw it too. And I'm like, okay, subtle compliment from Zaddy in there.
Subtle, but not subtle, because like him just saying like she was brave, she was admirable, she was reckless, but like in a composed way. Like what she was doing was for a good reason, and like Sigale saw it, Taryn saw it, like they all watched this happen, and still Dane is like, why the fuck would you do that? Why were you there? Like he still is, oh God. Makes me want to scream, because he literally like, I can't. Like under what conditions? Is it enough? Is she doing the right thing, the good thing? And then him just like supporting her, because that has yet to fucking happen.
Well, even, Xaden's talking about Sigale, said she's never been a fan of bullies, but don't mistake it as an act of kindness toward you. She's fond of the little one. Unfortunately, Tarn chose you all on his own. And Dane literally just mutters, fuck. Like, yet again, how fucking unsupportive are you? And why are you the way you are?
Thank you, Michael. Why are you the way that you are? I don't know.
Michael,
there were so many.
Dane.
Oh God. Well, he's Toby in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah, he would hate Dane, but he would love Xaden.
And then for, Xaden, Sorengale is the last person on the continent that I would want to be chained to. I didn't do this. If he's flat out saying, like, if I had a choice, I wouldn't have allowed this, even though Sigale watched it, Taryn was there, like, they had the say in what was happening, but Xaden is still like, no, because at the root of things, like, he still, at this point, knows the history of their families and everything, so he's still like, no, that's the last person I would want to be linked to. However, I trust my dragon and her mated dragon know what, they know when a person is above what they're saying they are. And Violet has never, like, she's still so doubtful of, like, who she is at her core, even though she's, like, revealed it time and time again. And, like, Xaden is still skeptical, but at the same time, like, he's trusting the dragons, and they know. Fuck you, Dane.
Well, and you know what? I love that Xaden kind of, like, just hits him with the, and even if I had, would you really level that accusation knowing it would have saved the woman you call your best friend? Like, oh, just hit him with the kill shot right there.
Fucking did. I loved it. But, like, Dane doesn't care. Insta-kill. Dane doesn't care. And so, like, I don't even know. He's just... Violet, of course, in this moment is like, oh, shit. Like, this is his redemption. He can make or break this moment. And still... he's like, there are rules. Why? Like, fuck what the rules say. If someone was threatening your fucking life, I would throw fucking hands.
100%. There are no rules. What rules?
There are no rules. When it comes to the people I love and my bestie, there are no fucking rules. And I would kill everyone.
Literally. I'd be going to jail for you so fast.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
And he's just like, rules aren't meant to be broken and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, Dane is just, such. Xaden, okay. Xaden, would you have bent those rules to save your precious little Violet in that field? And, you know, he's just not answering. And Xaden's like, oh, no, I'm ordering you to answer. Squad leader. He's pulling rank on him. Okay. Man in uniform. And then Dane's just like, no, I wouldn't have. Ew. Big, fat, ew. Fuck you, Dane. I'm angry. Oh my God. I just like woke my dog up from my anger. He just sat up and was like, really? You're angry at Dane again? All right.
Really? Cool. No, it's like valid though for Violet to be like, well, and Xaden. Because Xaden, truthfully, like this speaks not even just like on Dane as squad leader, but like, or like him as an individual, but him as squad leader of like when and if you're in battle and something is happening, you're just going to follow the rules because that's what you're trained to do. Like,
there's no
fuck
rules
what the
in
rules
battle.
say. Literally, there are no rules. Like, I just don't understand. Why are you drawing a line in the sand of, well, I can do this and I can't do that and I won't do that?
I just...
Fucking man.
Yeah.
Can I throw a dagger at his head?
Yes, do it. It would have killed me to watch something happen to you, Vi, but the rules. No! Just stop. Just stop. Please. Quit while you're not ahead.
He fucking pisses me off. You're not ahead.
He's not.
It just gives very narcissistic energy and like, no, Dane. No.
This is 2024.
Don't gaslight her.
We don't do this.
We're not vibing with you, so you can leave.
Just as bad as Tamlin.
Tampon.
Timmy Tam.
What is Dane? Well, crybaby Dane.
I've heard shit stain Dane.
Shit stain.
Yeah, I just call him crybaby Dane.
Yeah. I was going to say something else, but it starts with a D. Dane. But I won't. I'll refrain. Yeah.
Like, I will. I'll say it. Douchey Dane. Dickhead Dane.
Douchey Dane. Douchey Dane.
We got this.
He pisses me off so bad.
So, you know, Xaden sends Dane off to have a little chat with Violet, and Xaden just straight up tells her, he's like, you put too much faith in him. Plain and simple. You do. That sucks to suck. I just can't. Well, you know, Xaden says, knowing who to trust is the only thing that will keep you alive. Keep us alive. Not only in the quadrant, but after graduation.
There is no us!
Girl. Girl. Are you sure about that?
Violet is so naive. She's like, there is no us. Oh, there will be.
She just doesn't want to accept it. But, like, truly, if you've already realized that you're so attracted to him. So, like, just let it be.
Your body is tingling when he's around. Like, I think you know. But she's like fighting it still. Enemies to lovers, right?
Slowest of slow burns.
Ugh.
It's fine. It's fine. But, we learned that, let's see, it says, Tarn's bonds are so powerful, both mate and rider, because he's so powerful. Losing his last rider nearly killed him, which in turn nearly killed Sigale. Mated pairs' lives are, and Violet finishes for him, interdependent. I know that. So it's like, you are both bonded to these dragons, but these dragons are bonded to each other. So you have no choice. You are stuck together now.
Mm-hmm. Which I do like that Xaden brings that up, because it just shows because, they met because Violet was protecting Andarna. And so for Tarn to come in and decide to bond her, knowing how strong the bond can be, it just is so magical. And I love it. I'm I wish that it's your pets, I had this, my dog, if we had this cute little bond and she couldn't live without me. That's what I envision. Yeah,
that is
you
my
can't
dog.
live without me. That is my dog. You can't live without me. But I don't know. I just think it's cool that he brings it up, but also is putting into perspective for Violet of this is a really serious thing, and you may not realize it at this moment because your signet hasn't manifested, but once that bond grows stronger, shit's gonna hit the fan. It's gonna be a whole different ball game. And she's yeah, I know. No, bitch, you don't.
You don't get it.
You've never been bonded to a dragon before. You don't know.
Whereas this man's on year 3. And Xaden says, and now that Tarn is in play, that other cadets know he's willing to bond. He sighs, annoyance rippling off over his features, his strong jaw working as he looks away. Okay, Rebecca, what is it with you and jaws, first of all? Because after finishing that last book, I'm okay, this is a pattern.
Everybody wants a strong jawbone. It
she's always
signifies
how, the muscles are ticking or they're feathering.
Yes.
I'm do I ever just sit there? I'm making my jaw move.
It just makes me think these people are grinding their teeth and need to go to the dentist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stop grinding your teeth.
Quit doing that to your jaw. You're just gonna mess your mouth up.
Mm-hmm.
But she's that's why Tarn told me to stay with you, because the unbonded. So we're finding out that there's at least 3 dozen unbonded, and one of them being Orin Cypher, as we know, was trying to kill a girl. So
he's out here for blood. He tried once, failed. She totally had the opportunity, let him go. But again, character, his is way different than hers. And he just doesn't have the same forgive and forget type of mentality. He's oh no, I was going for blood and I'm gonna get blood. Watch the fuck out. Fuck you, Orin.
You would think at this rate of failure, embarrassment of not being bonded, and the fact that she spared him, he'd be okay,
I'm gonna back up.
White flag. Let me find someone else to go after. No, he's just a bitch.
You would think that would be the smart move, but 41 unbonded riders, and Violet is now target number 1.
Yeah. Xaden even says, Tarn is one of the strongest dragons on the continent, and the vast power he channels is about to be yours. The next few months, the unbonded will try to kill a newly paired rider while the bond is weak, while they still have a chance of that dragon changing its mind and picking them, so they're not set back a full year. And for Tarn, they'll do just about anything. That's scary. She's already been a target for being weak, and now she's got this big-ass dragon that people want.
I just love that she's and Tarn thinks you'll play bodyguard?
Little does he know.
Just how much you dislike me. But then it goes back to the bond, Xaden. He knows exactly how much I value my own life. If I was tied to someone and like their alive or unaliveness was dependent on my life too, I would like bubble wrap them.
100%. Like, you are not leaving your house. You are not breathing
like handcuff myself to them. Where you go, I go, and we are not doing anything dangerous because
you die, I die. So
yeah, there's no skydiving, there's no bungee jumping, nothing. You can't swim in the river. You might get a brain-eating amoeba. I don't know.
Do you want to go skydiving? Can we do that? Let's go.
No.
Our lives are not actually tethered, but can we please go skydiving?
That's like on the list of things I would have done pre-kids. That's number one. Post-kids, I don't know. Like, it does freak me out now.
It changes you.
It changes me. And like, I don't know. Now I'm like, is it really worth it? I know a lot of people that have gone and loved it. But I don't know. I also used to have nightmares. Just me outing myself. I had nightmares of falling a lot as like in my, I don't know, probably in my teenage years. Like I have vivid dreams in my youth. But I have such vivid dreams but it was always like a weird, like I would be on like a totem pole type situation. And so it would always be like swaying and to the point of then falling and then like that jolt you have when you wake up. Oh God. That's like the worst feeling ever. So I don't know. That and being chased. I don't know. I don't have any desire for skydiving. Although is skydiving the same kind of feeling? Because there's like so much pressure against you. Like, does it feel like you're falling or does it feel differently? I don't know.
Probably both.
Honestly, it's got to feel like falling, and I don't think I can handle it. I'm a baby.
So what you're telling me is that when the
There's
dragons are actually ready to reveal themselves and the government's gonna be like, yeah, we've been hiding dragons forever, you're telling me that you don't want to get a dragon. Because I think you need a dragon.
Okay, well, if the government is hiding aliens and dragons, I would low-key be interested in both. Can I meet them? Can I shake the aliens' hands? Can I ride the dragon? Is this like a ride at a carnival that we can take turns? I need...
Stop.
I have questions.
You know what? I just saw a whole conspiracy theory about all these like secret areas in national parks that even like the people who work in the parks aren't allowed to go to, and there's constant like military personnel and SWAT teams. I'll send you the video. And now I'm intrigued. I'm like, what are we hiding in our national parks?
If I was hiding a dragon, it would be like in a mountain. They're huge. We've dug out tunnels before. Who's to say that there's not like a big tunnel underneath the Rocky Mountains and there's a bunch of dragons hiding in there?
I love this for us. We have gone from FanTEAsy to conspiracy tea.
It's a whole new kind of tea. I'm convinced.
I'm here for it though.
What other conspiracies can we come up with?
I'm fully convinced.
I'm clowning. Anyway. It's fun. Anyways, back to reality.
Fourth wing. Reality of the fourth wing.
Yeah. Of this FanTEAsy book. We're too much. The tea has to stop.
Catch us always spilling tea just because we can and because it's who we are.
I'm here for the tea. I should have made some tea. It's gonna storm again, and I'm in the mood for some tea. I think I'm gonna make some chai after this. Unrelated
chai
again,
does sound
but
good. That's okay. And you know what? Chai. You and I are always on this chai level, and you know, Xaden's telling Violet that she's about to be the number one target. She's about to be hunted. She's like, oh, it's a typical Wednesday for me. I'm over here like, chai, typical, well, today's Tuesday. Typical Tuesday for us.
Tea Tuesday. Oh.
No wonder we record on Tuesdays. It just makes so much sense.
We should be having tea on Tuesdays while we spill the tea. Look at all these ideas coming to fruition here.
This is it. We're finessing the details of the podcast right now, friends, and these are the details. Just
you are a part of it.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being on this journey. It's a great time.
We also have a live audience member.
Hi, welcome to the FanTEAsy Podcast.
Are you the same person that keeps joining in? Okay, fun fact, the last 3 episodes, we keep having someone join in a live audience while we record, and we don't know who they are. They don't ever message us back, so we don't know what's happening. We kind of get creeped out, but we just have to live with it at this rate.
They're our number one fan. They're our number one fan.
He was number one. God. Anyway. I just
yeah, where to go from here?
Well, okay, so the dragons are gone. They're off having their meeting, and they're starting to come back, and Violet's like, well, you didn't answer before when she was trying to talk to them, and he just simply says, humans can't know what's said within the Empyrean. Or, I'm sorry, it's Indarna that says it, but it's a rule. Mm-hmm. So we learn a little bit more about dragon law, which is pretty cool.
I love the Empyrean. It has to be book 3 that we get so much more of the Empyrean and the history of it and those laws and like the making of it. That's like my only hope for book 3. And that Xaden lives.
I was like, I can't go without Zaddy. So I mean,
but next to that detail. Don't put that on me. Earlier when I posted the picture of the puppies and you're like, but what about Riddick? And I was like, the picture's there. It's just loading.
Yeah, no, I shit you not. She's like, I posted the pictures of the puppies, so we made the announcement. Like, okay, I'm going to go look. And then I only get 3. I'm like, excuse me, where is Riddick? I was panicking Riddick, for a minute there.
If it's a little foreshadowing to Onyx Storm, I don't want it.
Don't. Okay, but it loaded. He's there, so I'll take that.
True.
I was going to say, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Exactly. Don't put it on me.
I'll take Riddick. Don't tell my husband, but I'll take Riddick.
I don't think he's spoken for.
In like 3 months.
Okay, husband, don't listen to the podcast. Because you might have a new puppy.
This is chaotic. I can't.
We cannot stay on topic. Okay.
No, we can't. We're learning new things about the Empyrean. And,
so many good things about
freaking out. But, Tyrion just, to put her at ease before the news is announced, he just says, as it should be, humans have no say in the laws of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And, then they're just like, okay, you can keep both your dragons.
She's like, I belong to Taryn and Indarna. And in some really fucked up way, Xaden.
My scalp prickles and I glance across the field at him. As if sensing my gaze, he looks over and holds up a single finger. Target number 1. But also, he's probably like, yeah, you're number 1. You get 2 dragons.
She was number 1. Look, it comes back into play.
Xaden's over here just like, you think I'm telling you you're a target, but in reality, I'm like, woo, girl.
And actually, it's his middle finger. Like, he's not just holding up a single finger. He's like flipping her off. And she's like, me? I'm number 1?
Well, and that's what I thought before I read the next sentence, target number 1. In my very first read, just holding up a single finger. I'm like, oh, he's pulling a Nesta. He's out here like,
fuck you.
Middle fingers up if you don't give a fuck.
I really wish that was the case. Oh, shoot. Sorry, microphone.
It's good though. You know what? It's fine. But then our girl gets her mark, her relic, her gorgeous back piece. And I love it.
It makes me want a back tattoo so bad. She
I
gets
can't wait to get my
marked.
back tattoo.
And Tarn is just like, you'll like it. It's unique. And like the fact that he's like reassuring her, like, it's really pretty. You'll like it. Like, it's just like a sweet little moment. Like, he didn't, I mean, she doesn't have a choice, but he's like, no,
It's
you'll
on
like
you.
it. Like, I'm like,
And she's like talking
it's
about
so
how it's
cute.
beautiful. And then Darna's just like, we know. And Darna's just the cutest, though. We just love her.
Yeah, I need an Indarna in my life.
You have Rio.
She is an Indarna. Although her voice, I wish I could know what dogs' voices would sound like, because I don't know what hers would sound like, but probably not cute and high-pitched like I imagine Indarna's.
No, I think Rio would be probably a bit more mid-range. She's a sophisticated lady.
Sure.
I'm not talking classy old English broad, but like, she's like us.
She's a bitch.
So us.
Shit. Yes.
I love it so much.
All right.
You know, what's
last page?
Really fucking annoying, though, is that, you know, Dane's back here. You kept them both, like, all excited now. And you're like, you weren't this excited 5 seconds ago when you were telling me I had to choose, you bitch. No. But you have to know that I would do anything to save you, Violet, to keep you safe. What Ryerson said. Like, stop it.
You always want me safe, except break the rules. Like, you can't sit here and say one thing and do another. Actions speak louder than words, Dane.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then Dane goes for it.
Don't fuck off.
This
is literally the worst Dane moment of all time. Like, if I had to put them in order of worst Dane moments, this is fucking number one. Dane kisses
This
Violet.
is number 2 because of later.
Oh, well, true. But
where we're
up
at
until
currently,
this point,
it's number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. But, fuck off.
Why did you have to kiss her now? I'm going to have a bruise on my leg from hitting myself with my book just now. Like,
I just love that
are you
immediately,
doing
though. Dane is finally kissing me. The thrill is gone in less than a heartbeat. There's no heat, no energy, no sharp slice of lust. Disappointment sours the moment, but not for Dane. Ugh. Oh, God.
You know what, Dane? Yeah, have that false sense of hope, you bitch.
I fucking hate him. And you deserved that. Like, no.
And we literally end our chapter, the last sentence of the chapter. Shit. I don't want it anymore. Thank God.
The heavens above. Thank the heavens above.
Time that you have
what a
realized
tragic
you
love
don't want
story. That's
chapter 16.
Sorry it was a struggle to get through, but we did it.
We did it. Do you want to give us our chapter 17 summary?
I do. With threshing behind them, the writers are happy to have moved to their own dorms and move on to new challenges such as flight training, among other things. Although the now bonded writers are feeling good, the unbonded are feeling really motivated to gain a dragon. With the new power shift, Violet is surprised when Imogen offers to help train her, but every one of the children of the rebellion are linked and in this together. That could not be said for others in Violet's squad. To be honest, I don't know what that note was. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but they're all linked. And Violet, everyone in her squad, they don't have that yet, but this is a good chapter. It is a good chapter.
I mean, this whole book is just so good. So it's kind of hard. Like, every time we're like, oh, this is a great chapter.
It's valid.
So I thought the excerpt at the beginning of chapter 17 was actually really interesting. It says, "It is therefore only natural that the more powerful a dragon, the more powerful the signet its rider manifests. One should beware of a strong rider who bonds a smaller dragon, but even warier of the unbonded cadet who will stop at nothing to seize a chance to bond." Which this is really just solidifying like what we talked about in chapter 16 of Violet being the number one target. And that's scary. Could you imagine just like, okay, I have 2 dragons that people are going to want. I have the most sought after dragon. Everyone and their mom, all 41 of these people want to kill me now.
No, I wouldn't want any part of it. But it also, because it's talking about the more powerful the dragon, but then we also know that the signets are based off of the rider themselves. So, like, that's saying that Violet's a really strong rider. So, like, for anyone, like, to have this, it's like, oh, yay, it's Violet and not, like, Jack fucking Barlow. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it's good. I like that excerpt. But no, I don't want a target on my fucking back because the heart of a scribe, no. The brain of a scribe, the heart of a writer. That's where I'm at.
That's fair.
I wish I could be a writer, but realistically, no.
The physical ability of a scribe.
My anxiety says no.
You know, I do love though, like we have this like really serious excerpt, and then we just kind of go into talking about how they have their own rooms, and you know,
Yay!
Violet's up. She walks out into the hall to Rhiannon's door to see it open, and out walks Sawyer because they're just like, oh, you know, we're celebrating.
Wow. Yeah, they were doing some things. Closed door romance here, little closed door action. And so that's like a spice level 2 out of 5, I would say. Closed door. But they're like giving her shit, like, why aren't you celebrating? Wait, I did see you celebrating. And she's like, no.
We don't talk about that. This is Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't want to be celebrating with Dane. Fucking Dane. No. Crybaby Dane. Crybaby Dane. Oh.
Well, and I love that, you know, Rhiannon's like asking her, she's like, oh, like, really? Are you sure? And Violet's like, it's not like that with us. I'd always hoped it would be, but when he kissed me, there was nothing there. Like, nothing. And, you know, she's like disappointed, and Rhiannon's just like, well, that's shitty.
It's an honest response. Like,
it is.
Sucks. That sucks. Bummer. I had a friend in high school. Her dad used to just like say bummer all the time. And it was just like, just unwarranted though. Like you would actually get hurt or something would happen. And he'd be like, ah, bummer.
That's like today's.
Like, okay, thanks.
That's like the version of all the kids today that are like, womp womp.
Womp. I don't know that I've heard anyone say that. Well,
what?
Yeah, but like not like
have.
Like you said kids though, and I'm thinking like my kids. And
no,
like I don't
no,
like us kids.
That, but also like the younger people on TikTok.
Oh.
That's what I think.
Womp womp.
But you know, not womp womp is Riddick addressing them. And he's like, good morning, ladies. Or should I say riders?
I like the sound of riders. I mean, it's and then he goes up. It's definitely better than dead.
He's so funny.
And I don't want to be dead. No. Where's your relic?
You know the Afro Man song Colt 45?
Mm-hmm.
And like they're telling the joke in the beginning. He's like, ooh, good morning, ladies. That's all I can hear now.
Okay, good. Now we're gonna have Afro Man stuck in our head the rest of the day.
You're welcome. Yeah, he's like, where's your relic? And you know, they're just like bantering, and Fat's like, oh, it's on my back, whatever. He's like, yeah, mine's on my arm. Rhiannon's like, Somewhere you'll never see.
And his reaction,
You
you wound me. The little heart, you wound me. Like,
we love him.
But if Sawyer can get a chance, why not me? Why not Riddick?
Let's be honest, with the aspect of the celebrations that happen at Basgiath, yeah, I'm sure Riddick would stand a chance.
Everybody gets a chance.
That's what I'm saying. They're all with each other anyway, so I mean...
Well, I mean, they could die tomorrow. You never know until you try, right?
It's true. You know, as they're having their cute little banter, they're walking off to breakfast, and lo and behold, who is serving but Oren, who is just glaring daggers at our dagger throwing queen.
I fucking hate Oren. Go jump off of a bridge. Yeah, and she's like, nah, dude. I'm just gonna get me some fruit over here and I'll be chill because she knows how the kitchen line works, or at least it did when she was there. She's like, I don't know, he could try the same thing. Although I don't think Oren's that smart, truthfully. Like,
no. Really, Violet's the first one that would think of that.
She's giving way too much credit to him because he's not that smart at all.
I mean, that's okay. But, you know, they get their breakfast, they're going to sit down, and they're just like, oh, mind if we stay here? And everyone's like, oh, sorry, Sorengale, and like moving out of her way. And you're like, what the fuck, Knuckle, is happening right now?
Yeah. They're like all being nice to her. And she's like, you literally, I mean, you know who I am, but like, you don't respect me. You think I'm weak. Like, what is happening? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
And the morning, and I like this little, the morning after threshing is always a clusterfuck.
Truth.
Power balance shifts, and you, little Sorengale, are now about to be the most powerful rider in the quadrant. Anyone with common sense is going to be scared of you.
I love that Imogen says that to her.
I do too. If anyone was going to say it, Imogen is like the best person to throw that
just
out there
really
for
deliver
her.
it that way.
Yes.
And truly, if she's talking about the power shifts of, you know, she's like, it's because you bonded Tarn, and we know that he is the most powerful dragon and all of that. But off to the side, we see that Jack Barlow is being pushed out. He's being squeezed out of his table. People aren't letting him sit with them. Like, and even Riddick says, how the mighty have fallen. Because Jack is struggling, and it's just kind of like a... Okay, for us, it's satisfaction. Violet says it's not, but I'm like, it is.
He totally, yes, no. Sweet, bittersweet, sweet satisfaction of, fuck you, Jack Barlow. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Bottom of the totem pole, you thought you were hot shit, and no, how the mighty have fallen.
Well, even when she actually tells them the truth, that he tried to kill Andarna, they're like, wait a second.
But immediately she's like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
It's like,
Me, anytime I open my mouth.
Same.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Think about it for 3 days after.
Yeah,
did I
really
overshare?
bad about that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
If you ever meet me in real life, I definitely am an oversharer, but it's fine. It's fine.
Same.
It's my beige flag. It's fine. But then for him to, like, because then they're talking after about, like, how Jack's still bonded, and they're like, but wait, how? And just, like, that whole scenario of, like, Taryn saw what happened, Sigale saw what happened, and, like, I don't know. I think, like, it's terrible because the dragons know so much, and they can share all that information, and then for them to have, like, such a high expectation and, like, standards for the people that they are bonding to, for him to have bonded at all, I'm like, your dragon must be malfunctioning.
Short wire in the brain there.
Something is not right. You're missing a brain cell, because who the fuck would bond Jack fucking Barlow? I don't know.
I mean, you know what?
I'm not gonna. You know what? Nope. That's Iron Flame. I'm not gonna go there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go there. You know, it's funny that
staying in this
Tarn's
book.
like, you can trust Imogen. He says you can trust her, and talking about how she needs to eat her protein. You're not gonna be able to do flight lessons and all that if you don't eat. And like, she's like, why in the hell are you all of a sudden here? Why are you caring?
Why are you supporting me?
She's literally giving her
I
like,
wonder why.
right? She's like giving her all these tips. And then she's like, but I'm going to help you with weights. We need to strengthen the muscles around your joints before challenges resume. That's the only way you'll survive. And of course, the very first thing that says, the hairs on the back of my neck. Oh, I'm sorry. The hairs rise on the back of my neck. And at first you're like, oh, it's because what Imogen's saying. But then in reality, you're like, my gaze snaps to Xaden.
My chest tightens. So period. Freaking period. Beautiful.
Period.
Same. Period. Exclamation point. Heart eyes.
At least 10. Kissy face?
But then random, he's using a dagger to peel an apple, removing the rind in one long curl, and the blade continues its path as his eyes lift, locking with mine. Sorry, when did peeling an apple become so sexual?
I literally was sent a TikTok yesterday, and it was like every enemies to lovers, and it's like the girl playing both parts, and she's sitting there peeling an apple with a knife, and I'm like,
yes,
Xaden.
Yes, it's Xaden. Why is it
so
hot?
So funny. And yeah, she's like,
things I'm gonna start making my husband do. Here, peel this apple for me. With your pocket knife. Oh my god.
Babe, you know that knife I got you for Christmas?
Can you? Oh my god,
different
that's right.
uses.
We did get them knives. Yeah.
We did.
I forgot.
Are you really best friends with your best friend if you don't sit there and like try and plan every single gift that you're getting people? Because we have sent each other screenshots of everything we were getting our husbands for Christmas.
Uh-huh. Hey, we shared some really good ideas and made some solid lists.
We did. It's helpful to have someone to talk about when these men only want things that are way out of budget.
A whole truck. Sure. Let me get that.
A 69 Camaro. Coming right up.
All I want are books. I'm easy. Just get me books and I'll be happy.
Literally, that's all I want.
It's all I want in life. Just get me more books. If you know me in real life and you're listening, my birthday's coming up and get me books.
Done.
You don't count. I already know what you did.
You don't, though. You only know the smallest scratch of the surface of what we did. So don't.
I hate you.
We'll uncover later when your birthday's actually come and gone. But anyway, back to our book. So, she's putting together that Xaden is actually having them train her, protect her, because he values his life being tethered to her.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the only reason? Dun, dun, dun.
No, we already know he fell first. He loves her. We already know.
It's fine.
Chapter 9, Xaden's POV told me so.
He did. He said it with his own words.
This next part of this whole chapter, like, honestly, I could have tabbed so much because there's so much conversation between Taryn and her that I was like, everything he says to me is so funny. Like, he literally is Rebecca's grumpy bulldog. Like, bulldog energy, 100%. I literally, anything Taryn says, I'm like, Him helping her like this, helping her climb to mount him to ride. And he kneels his shoulder down so she can, dips his shoulder down so she can crawl up. And he says she's mad because she's like, yeah, he's making accommodations for me again. But mind you, he can hear her thoughts. So he's like, there are accommodations for me. I've seen your memories. I'm not about to have you sticking daggers into my leg to climb up. Now let's go.
He's so sassy. He is the
He's
definition
so
of a
fucking
sasshole.
sassy. Yes, I love him.
He's
I
great.
just need him. Mm-hmm.
And then, they're kind of just like, they're getting ready to go, and Violet's like, oh, remind me to spend some time at Temple so I can make multiple appeals to Dune. And she's like, oh, dragons don't think we need gods. And he's like, dragons pay no heed to your puny gods.
To your puny gods.
I love
But there's
that.
I need more of the gods. I'm waiting patiently for more, impatiently I should say, for more of the gods, more of this whole, because yeah, I mean puny gods, but like if they're so
There's
puny and
something more.
irrelevant, then why are they constantly talked about? Even in just brief like that. Like it's a brief sentence, but yeah, give me more.
I mean, it's literally no different than an ACOTAR. They're like, oh, bless the cauldron, thank the cauldron, and all that. And well, yeah, because we learn about the cauldron. That's the origin. So we need
that
the
took a
origin
while
of the
to
Empyrean
get
with the gods.
Yes, that took a while to get to. So I'm waiting impatiently, but I know it's coming. But this part's so sad because they take off and she still, is struggling to hold her seat and whatnot. So they're working hard together. But then he tells her, don't look. And she says, we already lost a rider. My throat knots. Glenn chose poorly. He never bonds strongly anyway. But it's
That's
sweet
so
that he's like, don't. I know, so sad. So obviously, that rider had fallen. But like, for Taryn to be like, don't look, like to protect her.
Yeah, he does. He cares about her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's telling him, like, you don't need to hold me. If you keep holding me like this, your energy will go into keeping me on instead of channeling when we need power for battle. And he's like, oh, it's a minuscule amount of my power. Like, okay,
so
sassy.
minuscule. What was I saying?
Yeah, so he's oh, we were talking about how he says it's a minuscule amount of power. And then he just, the bands fall away.
Mm-hmm. The bands fall away. And she's like, thank you. You shit. As she's now free falling. Like, okay, thank you. I like how literally 2 beats before this, he's like, don't look at that rider falling. And now he's like, all right, fuck you. Take a hike. She's like, oh no. Here we go.
Yeah, there he is, catching her in his claws
catching her always
and over. Like you want to say dragons are ruthless and don't care, but he cares. He's a big teddy bear.
He cares. But then, we've talked about their grunts and chuffs and whatever. So he makes a disgusted roar. And she said, what the hell does that mean? And he's like, the closest translation for humans is probably for fuck's sake.
Honestly, though.
He's the best.
Stubborn silver human. I fall again and again and again.
We could do this all day, honey. We could do this all day.
You know what? He's just like, I'm tired of your shit, but whatever. You're going to have to learn one way or another.
Literally. I will teach you a lesson. And today is to not doubt what I'm capable of. Thank you. Come again. Bye.
But after her flight lesson and they have dinner, she's walking to go train with Imogen and Rhiannon and all of that. And lo and behold, who does she run into? Crybaby Dane.
Crybaby Dane. I hate him.
He's like talking to her and she's like, oh, sorry, I'm not used to Tarn butting into my thoughts when she's not responding to him. He's like, oh, it's a good sign. It means your bond is strengthening. And honestly, I'm not sure why he's giving you a hard time with maneuvers. It's not like there's any aerial threat out there besides the griffins. And we all know one breath of fire means those birds are goner. Tell him to ease up on you. And Tarch is like, tell him to mind his own business.
She's like, sure, I'll do that. But
So
she's
funny.
still, because she's still debating. She's like, take it easy on him. He's my best friend, is what she's telling Taryn. But right before this, she's like, what the hell is wrong with me? Dane is gorgeous and kind and a really, really good man. He's honorable and my very best friend. So why don't we have chemistry? Like, she's still trying to figure out why this doesn't work. Why is she backing him up? Like, no. Well, if you knew the things we knew, Violet.
Facts. And they're like, well, look, about last night. And she's like, oh, thank God. He didn't feel it too. It's mutual. It's okay. We can just, no, it's great. It's fine. We're friends. And he's like, I'm saying the same thing you're saying. It's not that I don't want it, but with the rules, like, huh?
With the rules? I don't think that's what she was saying.
I just...
Oh,
he's like,
this
literally,
is all
you know
about
how hard I've
politics
worked to
for
be a
him.
squad leader. Ugh. Ew. A kiss should never be political.
Right now. Like, Dane's out here acting like he's the fucking president.
I'm not voting Dane 2024.
Oh, God. No. Zayden 2024.
Zaddy.
I'm going to get a flag that says campaign. That. Yes. Zaddy for president, please.
I love that Violet's just kind of like, you know what? I get it. I'm trying to walk away from him. And that's when Dane realizes that Imogen is the one that will be training her. And he's like, what the fuck is happening? It's literally Jim. What is going on?
What is happening? But yeah, because Imogen's like, come on, if our squad leader is done with you, and Dane is like literally confused, like, I'm sorry, no, why are you
training with her? Squad loyalty and all that, blah blah. Don't worry, I'll take good care of her. Bye, Ados. Like, that's dismissive if I've ever heard something like that.
I wish I was Imogen.
She leaves Dane, whatever. She's getting ready to go train with Imogen. And, like you were saying, Violet's like, you're only doing this because Zayden is making you, right? But Imogen's retort to that, where she's like, rule number 1, he's Ryerson to you, first year. And you never get to question me about him ever. And you're like, defensive, are we?
Yeah. Is there something more going on there, Imogen? Are you attached to this man?
Even Violet's like, I'm not jealous. Nope, that pit of ugliness spreading inside of my chest isn't jealousy. It can't be.
It can't be.
And then the training begins. Thanks for being here. We
Chapter 18. I love this chapter. Okay.
That's a good one.
I like this one. Welcome to the archives. Violet is now on archives duty and gets to venture down to the place she knows as home. In the archives, we are introduced to our favorite scribe, Jasenia. Violet is happy to see Jasenia, but also a sadness washes over her at what could have been. Violet finishes her chores and heads back to the Writer's Quadrant. She continues more flight training and even learned of some friends gaining their signet abilities. Yay! But there's also some signets that have manifested that we quickly learn are not so great. The day has come and gone as Violet dreams of fond memories of her dad, she is suddenly woken from her sleep thanks to Taryn. What she wakes to is nothing short of terrifying, as 6 unbonded riders stand in her room ready to attack. But he is almost there. Dun dun dun.
Chapter 18 is just, there's so much and it gets so intense, but If we're starting out in the archives, the excerpt says, "There's nothing more sacred than the archives. Even temples can be rebuilt, but books cannot be rewritten." That's crazy to
take
think
my
about.
books
You could
away.
literally, and you could lose all of your history so fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, I can understand Violet's sadness being down there because that's where she grew up. That's where she thought she would end up. And she's like, well, I'm a writer. I'm not a scribe. I can't go in there. I cannot go past this point. I'll never go back in there again.
Mm-hmm. Says the archives smell like parchment, bookbinding glue, and ink. They smell like home.
That sounds like it smells really nice, honestly. I just had this conversation with a new friend I made on Instagram yesterday. We were talking about the first inhale of walking into a bookstore. And you're like, yeah, it smells so good.
Smells like home. But so she goes down there and she is greeted by our favorite little scribe, Jacinia. And we just love Jacinia. And she is also deaf. So this is good representation. And so now they're communicating via sign language.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the representation.
I remember you and I having this conversation. You're like, oh my gosh, there's a girl who signs. And
Yeah.
just a smidge of personal information. We do basic sign language with our oldest child. And so that was just really cool. We're like, oh my gosh, like ASL is kind of like a thing in here. And you even text me, you're like, there's some like representation for our little dude. And I was like, I know,
Yeah.
I love that.
I was really excited when I read that. I was like, just made my heart happy because you don't see a lot of different representation. It's becoming more and more, but it's hard to find in books. But yeah. So Jacinia, we love her. And so they, are catching up and they're both kind of like, well, how are you? Like, how are things? And of course, Jasenia's like, oh my God, I'm like having the best time of my life. I'm down here. I'm a scribe. Like, this is great. How are you? And she's like, I'm good. But Jasenia's, like, well, aren't you worried that, you might die? She's like, I don't know, you could just kind of get used to it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get used to that thought.
She just cannot comprehend what Violet's saying at this rate.
Literally. She's like, wait, what?
Violet's doing her library duty, bringing back the texts that they had borrowed and waiting for the new requested ones. But she does ask her, she's like, she feels a little bit of homesickness, and she asks her, any chance you guys have a copy of the Fables of the Baron? As we know, that's the book that Violet's dad would read her, the copy that Mira took out of her backpack, or her rucksack, sorry, at the very beginning for Parapet. And she's like, oh, I just want that. And Justinia's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I am not familiar with that text.
No clue. My favorite little bit of this is like, she's, telling her, like, it's just a collection of folklore, but then it says a little on the dark side. Honestly, but I love it.
Same.
We like everything a little on the dark side. But she's
Absolutely.
explaining it. It's wyvern, venom, magic, the battles of good and evil. The good stuff. And Justinia's like, I don't know, but I'll look for it if I happen to see it. But I don't know. But then it says I could use a few good folktales of what happens when humans defile the power channeled to them.
Foreshadowing. Important note. Anyway.
Just gonna leave that one there. Oh, Violet.
It's fine. But Professor Markham, he's down there with all the scribes, and he's telling them all that Violet was, Violet Sorrengill here was my prize student until the Writers' Quadrant stole her away. I had hoped she would return, but alas, she has bonded not one, but 2 dragons. He's kind of like bragging, but in a jabbing way towards Violet, like, You were going to be my most prized student.
I literally read this like with so much like sass of like, I had hopes and dreams she would return, but alas, like it's so devastating. Yes. She has bonded not one, but two dragons. Like she would have been this phenomenal scribe, but instead now she's this badass, phenomenal writer that has two dragons. Like, I don't know. What can't she do? I guess.
I thought it was cool though that he kind of included her in the conversation when they're supposed to be more quiet and reserved. And he's like, "Can you tell her why?" What was the girl's name? It's perhaps you could explain something to Cadet Nasia. I don't know how you say her name. Sounds like Nasia, like Lucan.
Nasia. That's what I was thinking. Nasia. I think.
Yeah. Anyway, over here, who was just griping that there's nearly not enough fresh air in here. So, Violet's like, okay, I guess I will teach her. It's part of the fire mitigation system. Less air, less risk of our history being burned to the ground. And you're like, very smart. Makes a lot of sense. And that just kind of reiterates, like, this is their history. Everything that lives in the archives is their whole history. But we haven't heard of the fables.
Right. Do we also think there's some more foreshadowing here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Iron Flame. Leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm trying not to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I know.
It is hard.
It's hard.
Oh, yeah. And then even Nasia asked her, like, and the stuffy hoods? It says, makes it harder for you to stand out against the tomes, a symbol that no one and nothing is more important than the documents and books in this very room. Like, that's so crazy that the books and the texts in there are all more important than every single scribe that steps foot in there every day. And also, why is this Nasia girl a scribe if she can't comprehend all of that?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
That was just kind of casually thrown in there to show Violet's knowledge.
Yes, it was. But then this next little bit of Andarna, because now Violet's in there and she's, feeling this homesickness of this was a familiar place to her. And Andarna asks her, "You are sad?" And she says, "Just visiting the archives, no need to worry." And she says, "It's hard to love a second home as much as the first."
It's such a good thing to say. And Andarna's just there being that comforting little voice for her.
Is she just being compassionate, or is this something that she can actually relate to?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be both.
But like Andarna's only ever been in the Vale, right? And she's just a baby.
Just a baby.
I don't know. Some theories swirling. That's where I'm at.
Even Justinian comes back and she's like, I can't find that book. I even searched the catalog for Wyvern. I think that's what you said. But there's nothing. And Violet's like, what in the world? Like, we have every book in this library, yet we don't have that one. It just kind of gets her thinking. She's like, that's super weird. Let's see. It says, here we go. Our archives either have a copy of the original of almost every book in Navarre. Only ultra rare or forbidden tomes are excluded. When did folklore become either of those? And you're like, big, heavy foreshadow.
Though, come to think of it, I never came across anything like the Fables of the Baron on the shelves while I was studying to become a scribe. Chimera, yes. Kraken,
the
sure.
And the Krakens.
Yeah. But Wyvern or the venom that create them? None. Bizarre.
Okay, whatever. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
we have Justinia still just really sympathizing. Violet's talking about sparring on the mat, and Justinia's like, wait, what? Oh, right. I forgot you guys fight each other. Like, from an outside perspective,
I
because,
forgot.
we've been so immersed in the Riders Quadrant, we're like, oh, yeah, they spar, they ride dragons. But if you think about the outsider's perspective, you're like, oh my gosh, you guys fight each other. You literally will, like, take daggers from one another. You sit on these beasts of behemoth dragons.
She goes, I'm really all right. I promise her, leaving out the times I've caught Oren gripping a dagger in my presence or the way Jack seethes in my direction. Yeah, it's fine. People don't want to kill me every single second of every day.
Never.
I'm fine.
What? It just, and then, Justinia's like, oh, but, like, Dane? Have you seen him? And she's like, that's a story for another day, girl.
I don't got enough time in this day to be talking about that right now.
As she goes back, though, I really kind of like that when she gets to breakfast, she's noticing that, the squads are kind of changing with that power shift, but she sees there's new people in their squad that will not even associate with the people in their squad who have rebellion relics. And she's like, so fuck them. Violet doesn't discriminate, and we love that for her.
There's no discrimination. Plus, she kind of can't anymore now that she's literally attached to Zayden's hip.
Yeah, right.
But Imogen too. She's now found this newfound respect for Imogen, and so she's like, yeah, fuck them. If you don't like them, fuck them.
Right. Truth. And it's been a hot minute since we got a new signet, and Callie has not been able to give us good signet updates in a while. But this next part is just Callie coded all over it.
We have a new signet. This part is so funny to me because, this would happen to me. Like,
honestly, same.
So they're at lunch and they're like, oh, Sawyer, you got your signet, right? And they're like, you're I'm going to butcher this, but metallurgist? And they're like, holy crap, Sawyer can manipulate metals. So they're sitting here and he's, they're like so excited, like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And he's like, yeah, it'd be really fucking great, except for, he says, you wouldn't be so excited if it meant you weren't sure if your fork would stab you in the roof of your mouth because you can't control it yet.
That's such a real concern, honestly.
I'd be like, can I get a plastic one, please?
Even Violet's like, we'll get you wooden utensils. Don't worry, Sawyer.
Yes, you'll be okay. I know. So new signet, we love new signets.
But we also get a really interesting dragon information piece here because, we know that the dragon's power and channel the energy into the writer for their signets. It's just up to the writer's character, how the signet manifests and all that.
Yes.
But what they start learning from Imogen is the relic your dragons transferred onto you at threshing is the conduit to let all that magic into your body. If you don't manifest a signet and let it out, then after a bunch of months, bad things happen. So Quinn pipes in and says, the magic consumes you, making the explosion sound.
I'm not gonna lie. There was one point in my life that I thought spontaneous combustion was gonna be more of a relevant problem.
Just like quicksand, yeah.
Yes. Why did I think I was magically gonna blow up? I don't know, but it was a real life problem.
100%.
But they're like, relax. It's not like a hard deadline or something. It's just an average. Good old Riddick.
Still scary.
Fuck me. It's always something around here. Yeah, you're right. We can't just have any good days. We can't have any good days.
Nope. It's just gonna get harder and harder, but okay.
It's fine. Riddick is here. He makes us happy.
So, Imogen's like telling Violet, like, oh, finish the turkey. I'll see you tonight. Just like, you need your strength. You need your protein. We're going to get through this together. But, Violet's still kind of sitting there, like, wondering in the back of her head, like, when they're talking about Professor Carr, and Sawyer's like, he's terrifying, and you guys need to meet him too, so I'm not the only one. And she's just worried, like, what if I haven't manifested a signet? That would be us. The overthinker sitting there like, oh my God, it's only day 1, but I don't have a signet yet.
And I'm going to blow up.
Yep. That's when our fears of spontaneous combustion would actually come to life.
Yeah.
Makes those fears more relevant.
Mm-hmm. Dragons, spontaneous combustion. These are real problems that we're facing, people.
100%. Not quicksand, and I'm okay with that.
No. Although the Neverending Story, did you ever watch the Neverending Story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quicksand.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
Fictional deaths that I will never get over.
So, they've had flight lessons again, and Taryn's just like, you only fell about a dozen times that trip. He's like,
I can't tell if that's a compliment or not. Take it as you wish. Like, I don't. Just his little sassiness. But then they're going on, and he says, what are they talking about? So, Andarna, she wants Andarna to come and join them. And he's like, absolutely not. But he says, I'm not foolish enough to not know that I have something stuck in my flesh, and I wouldn't ask Andarna to join us unless she requested it. She can't keep up the speed, and it would only draw unwanted attention.
mm-hmm.
I love him.
Well, even he makes a comment, she's like, I'm not the one putting us into spirals with steep banks while Kaori is teaching plain dives. And he says, I'm training you for battle. He's teaching you parlor tricks. I'm like, damn, you are serious.
Mm-hmm. I'm always stuck with your grumpy ass.
She's so funny. But Andarna's just like, I'm always here. It's okay.
I'm here. I'm near. Just in the veil. Protected. Because, I'm tiny. And I don't want to die. Gleaming gold. Literally.
They just have the best banter, honestly. And, he's like, this grumpy ass just caught you a dozen times, silver one. She's like, well, eventually you could call me Violet, But his retort, he's like, I know. And I could call you Violence, like the wing leader.
Not Taryn throwing out shade to Zaddy. I love.
It's great. We love this.
She said, you wouldn't dare. And you know how much that ass annoys me. That ass don't annoy you. And then he goes, is that what you call it when your heart rate? Don't even start with me. I'm sorry. Is Taryn playing matchmaker right now?
100%, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, just recognize your feelings already. Damn it. I am tired of your drama.
Acknowledge and move on. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do something about it. Get out of your system.
Then comes Crybaby Dane again. Ew. And of course, Taryn is just not a fan. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And Dane is being nothing less than a douche. So Taryn says, tell him if he harms you, I'll scorch the ground where he stands.
Okay, sassy.
She says, oh, for fuck's sake. And he says, tell him or I'll take it up with Kath. Literally, he's like say it or I'm going to get his dragon involved when you don't want me to do that. Like, okay. So she says, Taryn says, if you harm me, he'll burn you. Word for word, Silver One. So she repeats it. Sorry, he actually said, repeats what he says. And Dane's just like, oh shit. The swirling anger. I would rather die than harm you, and you know it.
Happy now? I asked Tarn. I'm hungry. I think I'll partake in a flock of sheep. Just like, okay, you were just threatening this man's life, and now you're like, I'm hungry.
That's good. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get a snack over here. Fucking
But,
Dane.
we have this like little comedic relief of the banter, and then we just get angry all over again because Dane
all over again
just comes right into her face. Is like, why didn't you tell me you can't keep your fucking seat? Excuse you.
She
You don't need to
literally
be so
is
loud.
like, excuse you, why are you need to calm down.
You're being too loud.
You're being too loud.
In every sense of the word. It's so annoying. And he's like, she's finally kind of rearing back at him. She's like, it's not a secret. Everyone in our wing knows. But he's like, you didn't tell me. So Dane's over here feeling hurt and betrayed by her. And you're like, really?
Butthurt.
That's what you're choosing to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Not, how can I help you? You didn't tell me.
She's fucking over it. She's like, there's not a problem. Taryn can keep me buckled in magically if he needs to. I'm the one asking him to loosen the restraints. And I'd think twice before you question him. He's more of the char first, ask questions later type. Oh, fuck you, Dane.
That. I love that.
Can Taryn just please char him? Just like, maybe just let some nice hot steam roll over him.
Just to scare him a little,
Yeah, just go away.
And even though she's like, it's me, he could hold me. I'm the one trying to learn. You should have seen me a month ago when it was 3 dozen times. He's like, 3 dozen? Okay, chill the fuck out. She's telling you to stop. So listen and just chill out.
Literally. 3 dozen?
So annoying.
3 dozen? You're a broken record? 3 dozen?
God, and Dane is just, he's going off about how she can't keep her seat. He's going off about Xaden and how, he is just going off like, Xaden asked Imogen to train you and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have your best interest at heart. First, it was bending the rules to make it up the gauntlet. And yes, Amber lit into me for an hour about how you acted dishonorably. Okay, you are really bringing Amber into this? Are you joking?
Amber fucking Mavis, folks.
Are you joking?
Yep. Mm-hmm. She's like, dishonorably? Fuck this.
Yeah, good for her though, honestly.
So over him. He says, I'm terrified you're not going to make it to graduation, Vi. You know exactly how I feel about you, whether or not I can do anything about it, and I'm terrified.
But the fact that she laughs at him. It's the last line that does me in. Laughter bubbles up my throat and escapes. And he's like, are you laughing at me?
He's like, what? Did you just do that? Because, yeah, she's like, literally, this place cuts away all the bullshit and the niceties, revealing whoever you are at your core. I repeat his words from this summer. Isn't that what you said to me? Is this who you really are at your core? Someone so enamored with the rules that he doesn't know when to bend or break them for someone he cares about. Someone so focused on the least I'm capable of doing, he can't believe I can do so much more. Yes!
You got to go to that next page and finish the quote.
Okay, fine.
Because
I skipped a page.
Because
no, I didn't.
This what she says to him.
Let's get one thing straight, Dane. I take a step closer, but the distance between us only widens. The reason we'll never be anything more than friends isn't because of your rules. It's because you have no faith in me, even now, when I've survived against all odds and bonded not just one dragon, but two. You still think I won't make it. So forgive me, but you're about to be some of the bullshit that this place cuts away from me. Thank you.
This is so good.
We shouldn't have ever found those buttons.
No, we should not have. But it's fine. And Violet's just like, I'm over this. I'm done. She's walking away and she passes Zayden and Garrick and she's like, you know what? I am not having their shit today either. So she just flips him off.
Literally. Peace out.
Single out. One way to heaven.
He was number one.
This part, we're all like, yeah, fuck yeah, Violet. We're all hyped up on her and everything. And, Rhiannon and her is like, oh, is everything okay? And someone screams, make it stop. So, of course, shadows move to my left, and a glance tells me Zayden has moved casually, putting himself just ahead of me. And you're like, okay, this is serious. But you're also in a protective stance.
My hands hover over my blades. A shadow moves to my left, casually in front of her.
No big.
And then sweet Jeremiah. You think I've lost it. How does he know? You shouldn't know. Chills race down my spine, dragging my stomach to the ground. This part makes me so sad, honestly.
I know. It's awful.
So another signet has manifested. And as we know, if you can read minds, you are an intrinsic, which is a capital offense.
Yep.
So, sweet Jeremiah. I know. This is just terrible. Make it stop. Can't any of you see? The thoughts won't stop. Do something, I beg, Zayden. Oh, God. I can't.
Zayden's just like, start mentally reciting whatever bookish shit you've learned. If you value your secrets, clear your thoughts now. So, she's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. And Jeremiah turns, his gaze locking on Garrick. Damn it all to hell. He'll know about the shadows around Jeremiah's feet snake up his legs in a heartbeat, winding around his chest until they cover his mouth in bands of black. That is like such heavy foreshadowing. Because he's saying what everyone's thinking out loud to everyone, and Garrick's like, oh my God, he's going to know. We don't know right now, but...
We don't know.
He was about to expose them all. A professor pushes through the crowd, his shock of white hair bouncing with every step of his large frame. He's an intrinsic, someone shouts, and that seems to be all that's necessary.
The professor grips Jeremiah's head with both hands, and a crack echoes off the walls. Oh. Yep.
His neck is broken.
And then we have Sweet Riddick. Maybe I don't want a signet power. Never mind. Spontaneous combustion sounds better.
Honestly, Riddick gets it.
But Dane, the death is merciful compared to what will happen if you don't manifest one. Ooh.
All right, Dane, way to ruin the comedic relief.
I know. And Sawyer, sweet Sawyer, and that was Professor Carr. So now we've had our official introduction to him.
Sounds terrifying.
He is terrifying. He's literally... I always just want to think everyone in this book is ruthless because they are.
Well, yeah, so we've had our little moment with Jeremiah, and we just move on.
Move on.
Now,
That's it.
Now
Next
we
beat.
start off with a quote from Violet's dad. You always have to check your sources, Dad tells me, ruffling my hair as he stands beside me at the table in the archives. Remember that first-hand accounts are always more accurate, but you have to look deeper, Violet. You have to see who is telling the story, which is just great advice, but we're like, wait, she's talking with her dad. What in the world?
She says, but what if I want to be a writer? I asked with the voice of a much younger version of me, like Brennan and Mom. Wake! You're not like them, Violet. That's not your path, Dad offers. And it's for the best. Your mother has never understood that while writers may be the weapons of our kingdom, it's the scribes who have all the real power in this world. Chef's kiss. Thank you, Dad. But again, wake before you die.
Now. Literally,
Finally, she awakes.
My eyes fly open and I gasp as the dream disintegrates. I am not in the archives. I'm in my room and the writers move. Fuck, she's awake. Like, this whole scene. This whole scene is so scary. Could you imagine? You're just asleep. You're having a nice dream about your dad, which also really should just be like saying something about what you should be learning later. And then all of a sudden you wake up because something inside of you is telling you to wake up and you're about to die.
Something inside of you, something inside your head is literally screaming at you, telling you, wake up now or you're going to die. Thank you, Taryn, for being saving grace.
Seriously.
No, this whole, like, even rereading for the podcast, I was still like, oh my God, move, get out of the way, roll, duck, grab your daggers.
Yeah.
Because no, stressful. So she wakes up and there are 6 writers in her room trying to kill her.
Casually.
7 actually. 4 unbonded men and 3 unbonded women. One quickly leaves.
Recognition that makes 2 as she runs for the door and slams it on the way out. But who?
Recognition. I don't know. She opened the door. There's no other explanation. If you know, you know.
You'll find out soon.
Don't get me started.
So Violet's like, oh my gosh, like, guess it won't do me much to ask you to leave nicely when she has all these unbonded writers trying to kill her, literally proving what Zayden said of her being the number 1 target.
Casually.
And Taryn's just trying to give her advice, like, get away from the wall. Don't let them trap you. And she's just trying to fight her way out. And of course, who's leading the pack but Oren?
Of course. I should have killed you during threshing. Should have fucking killed him.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it's fine. She's trying to figure out a way out of there. She'll die and fall into the ravine if she goes out the window. She's trying to talk to Taryn, trying to get out of there, and it's just too much. She's telling her, like, don't throw your daggers. You gotta hold your weapons because, you know, it's 7 against 1. How scary.
And it's, mind you, too, it's the middle of the night. It's dark. So literally the whole scene is by moonlight coming through the window. Like, she can't see what's going on. This is a small dorm room. She has no space to move around to get away from them or to even get to the door. They're now blocking the door. She doesn't know what to do. She's holding off as much as she can. And sweet, sweet Taryn is just in her brain saying, he's almost there. He's almost there. Like, hold on. He's almost there. As now Oren has her by the throat.
Yeah.
Literally no air left. He's almost there. He's almost there. Oh my god.
And Oren just has the audacity to be like, your dragon is mine. As if Tarn wants your leftovers. Ew, no.
No.
He's not about sloppy seconds, first of all.
One of the unbonded says, finish her. He'll only respect us if we finish her. Which is so, like, Oren of all people should know the dragon she's now bonded to is because of the dragon they were trying to kill. So
Yeah.
if you're putting anything together, if you're now going to kill this rider, he is going to lose all respect for you and never bond you.
Yeah, it's some backward ass thinking.
Like, so dumb. Again, he's not all there, I don't think. Because you're so stupid.
No. He's not. And, she's like, oh my God, like, I'm going to die. He has a knife to her throat. And all of a sudden, well, okay, the bedroom door flies open, the wood splintering as it slams against the stone wall. But she doesn't see who it is because all she hears in her head is Andarna screaming, mine. Just, ugh. The next breath I take is in total, complete silence. Go, Andarna demands. And Violet is realizing that everything is frozen. Time has completely stopped except for her. And she's like, oh shit, like, what is this?
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
But also, now I gotta move. Right meow.
And that is literally how chapter 18 ends.
And I fucking hate those chapters. Because when you say, one more chapter in bed, and then it ends, and you're like, one more chapter.
So before I have more 19. Palpitations in my heart, what is our chapter 19 summary?
With time frozen, Violet is able to escape narrowly from Oren's grip, but she isn't in the clear yet. There is still a room full of unbonded riders wanting to end her. How is she going to get out? And Darna holds strong for as long as she can until suddenly Xaden appears in the room, ready to save the damn day. Yeah! You're all fucking dead. The fight is over before it even begins, and Xaden is pulling Violet out of her room before the shock has even settled. They head directly through secret passages to meet with their dragons because what the hell just happened?
My gosh, it's just so intense.
Literally.
No, truly, she doesn't understand why nothing but her is moving. She's like, okay, well, I gotta utilize this moment. And Darna's telling her, like, go, I can't hold it. So Violet's trying to leave the room, only to find that Xaden is the one who burst down the door. And I'm like, oh my God, thank fuck.
Thank God you're there.
Exactly. For the first time since crossing the parapet, I am so fucking relieved to see him that I could cry.
Same.
But truly, when Xaden, time has resumed. There's a little bit of confusion, like, where the fuck is she? She was just here. Xaden doesn't even let that affect him for more than a millisecond. He literally just looks at him, like you just quoted so perfectly, you're all fucking dead. You're like, oh, chills.
And then little Oren, like a little bitch. Ryerson!
Literally.
Like as if he's coming to like help them or something.
Like, okay, what is it with the bitches though? Because Jack ran. Tiny would have been a bitch if he wouldn't have been scorched. And now Oren has the audacity to beg and act shocked. Like, what? Me? No, I'm not the villain. But you know
he should have never bonded her. It's okay. But Xaden...
I'm not the villain.
You are the villain in every story. Xaden just says, dragons don't make mistakes.
We love that. We just love that. And Xaden's quoting the Codex to them. And he's like, no, you cannot do this. This is illegal. So I have every right to do what I need to do and kill you all.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
I love. He says, I've heard
Even-
everything I need to hear. She should have killed you in the field, but she's merciful. That's not a flaw I possess.
Like, okay.
Uh-huh. I don't need you to be merciful. It's fine.
And then, you know, all of a sudden we just hear, damn, Zayden, no time for questioning, as Garrick and Bodhi walk in.
Nah, dude. Yep.
We're like, no. He's like, let me guess. We're on cleanup. I just love that. You know, they get in some other marked ones. They clean up the bodies like nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a huge foreshadow piece here, too.
Yep, hit me with it.
I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I repeat the mantra in my head as Zayden wipes the blood from my dagger on the back of Oren's tunic. Funny that he's using Oren's tunic to wipe the blood. Oren's own blood, first of all. And Zayden's just like, yes, you're alive. And Violet's like, I didn't realize I said that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Huge foreshadow. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Zayden's talking about the shock. Are you hurt? And this man is like, come on, Violence. Pull it together. Are you hurt?
Pull your
Where
shit
are you
together.
hurt?
Get it
He's just
together,
like-
Linda.
Oh my God, honestly. So she's telling him, and you know, she's like, "Oh, must have been a dull," or he was like, "Must have been a dull sword, unless it has something to do with the way you sleep in your leather vest." And Tarn's like, "You have to trust him." She's like, but what? And so you know, she entrusts him with the knowledge of Chine's scale vest, and he's just over here like, what is going on? What happened to you? We need to figure this out. But yeah, you know, Zayden's like, okay, I need to see your ribs. He's even talking about her corset, and he's like, I know how to handle a corset.
Mm-hmm. Can move my way around one of those pretty quickly.
How the hell do you get yourself into this thing every morning? It's such a man thing to say.
She says, I'm freakishly flexible. Okay.
Like, Violet, you really only say something like that to somebody unless you really want them to think about you that way. So, just saying. But we love this because, you know, she's saying that it should have been awkward, but it wasn't, about how he's getting her back in her corset. He's checked her ribs and everything. You'll live. Turn around. I do, tugging my nightdress back over my shoulders, and he drops to his knees on the floor before me. My eyes widen. Zayden Ryerson is kneeling before me, his black hair at perfect level for me to run my fingers through the thickness. Like, what?
Why the hell do I care?
God, he's over here putting her boots on her. And she's like, oh, his hair. I could run my fingers through his hair.
It's just right at this nice height. I can just grab it, hold on to it.
I mean, I guess if you need something to hold on to while he's putting your boots on you.
Mm-hmm. Or other things.
No more, no less.
Or more, for sure. Please. I mean, what?
I love that. And it's just so funny. So they start, you know, he helps her get dressed. They start walking down the hall, and she's like, can't you just hide us in shadows or something? He's like, sure, because a giant black cloud moving down the hallway isn't going to look more suspicious than a couple sneaking around. She's like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah,
Not that we're a couple. Not that I wouldn't climb the man like a tree. Like, Violet, girl, rein it in.
No. Let it out. Let your freak flag fly.
Proudly. It's just so great. Yeah, so they're walking, and he's leading her through the halls and into this little hidden tunnel. And we're like, what in the hell? What is this?
Where the fuck are we going?
You know, they're walking, and she's struggling because her ribs are all messed up, and she's like, you could be a little more considerate. He's like, I'm not going to baby you like Ados does. That's just like, he's like, I had to bring Dane into this. I just had to make a point.
She says, he doesn't baby me. And he says, he does, and you know it. You hate it, too, if the vibe I'm picking up on is any indication. Or did I read that wrong?
Like, okay, yet again, make your distaste known.
Please, please. She says, I don't think I'll bother sleeping again, and if you even think about suggesting that you sleep with me for safety from now on...
He scoffs.
Hardly. I don't fuck first years, even when I was one, let alone you.
Ouch.
All right, so Zaddy has standards. Got it. Okay, check.
Yep. I'd have to be a masochist to sleep with someone like you, and I can assure you, I am not.
Oh, you hardly give off snuggly
go,
morning after vibes. Unless you're worried about me killing you while you sleep. Oh.
It's just back to that little banter of the immediate connection of them, and I love it.
I do love them. As violent as you are and skilled with those daggers, I'm not even sure you could kill a fly. Oh. But now they're back into this kind of serious talk that they're having about how she's admitting, you know, like, I've never killed anyone. I know that's what we're supposed to do, but like, that's scary. And he's just like, well, you're gonna have to get over that. Like, we're all weapons. That's what we're here for. And she's like, what? Wait, what? Right, I forgot.
That's just like a really shitty realization. Especially in that moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, here they're laughing and giggling, but
yeah, they're having the time of their lives, and
reality rips them back of, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a harsh one, but we figure out Xaden is taking her to the flight field to talk to Tarn about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, you're like, okay, we're trying to get there. She's struggling. She is in so much pain at this point. And, he is like not really wanting to slow down. He's not wanting to baby her like he said. But then just nonchalantly, Xaden's arm wraps around my waist, steadying me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, tell me you don't care then. It's just such like this cute little moment.
He has a minty scent.
I love the smell of mint.
Isn't... But man, if that minty scent of his isn't delicious.
Well, as they're walking, Violet's realization is setting in, and she's like, wait, you were at my room so fast, and you are fully dressed. Where were you? Like, what is going on with you, sir?
Mm-hmm. You're not dressed for sleeping. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, nope, third year business, not talking about it, whatever.
Just, it's chill. It's fine.
And they get out to the flight field, and they see Tarn and Darna and Sigil coming in hot.
Coming in real hot.
Of course, our cutie little Andarna. Andarna scurries between Sigil's claws, galloping toward us. She skids the last dozen feet, paws digging into the ground, and stops just in front of me, bringing her nose to my ribs as an urgent sense of anxiety fills my head, swamping me with feelings that I know aren't mine. And then Darna's just so freaked out, like, are you hurt? What is wrong? Oh, cute baby. We love her.
Her little paws. She's like, I'm okay, really. And she's like, are you sure? You're sure. Sweet Andarna.
But we've got the two of them, we've got the three dragons, and the bomb drops. When Violet realizes that Xaden can also hear Tarn, and
they're
can
now
hear
having a conversation.
Oh, like what?
If I was her, I would just like casually back away.
Right?
I'm not here.
Well, and what's funny is that Tarn and Xaden kind of have this little like back and forth. She would have been dead if I had been 30 seconds later. Seems like you had 30 seconds gifted to you.
Yeah, so bitch.
Great. Absolutely great. And they just kind of have that like both protective stance over Violet, but in different ways. So they argue, and then we have Sigale entering this conversation.
So yeah, right before Sigale, sweet Sigale, or bitchy, I don't know, Mama vicious Sigale comes in. Xaden is pissed, and he's like, we need to know what happened in that room. And Taryn is like, do not dare to try and read me, human, or you'll regret it.
Like,
and she says, I move between the two and tilt my chin at Taryn. He's just a little freaked out. Don't scorch him. And this is when she's talking about, Montana mentioned, she said, a feminine voice sounds through my head. At least we agree on something. Throw my book.
Please don't kill my writer.
She talked to me. I know. I heard. It's because they're mates. It's the same reason I'm chained to you. Bombshell.
Literal bombshell.
So now everyone is fucking intertwined, connected, and Violet never has a moment alone. Minus Andarna.
Never.
Yeah.
We learned that Xaden, since Andarna is not mated into this pair, obviously only Violet can hear her. So she has to translate for Andarna. But that's when we find out that Andarna says Feathertail shouldn't bond because they can accidentally gift their powers to humans. Dragons can't channel, not really, until we're big. But we're all born with something special. So we're learning that Andarna is a baby, and she gifted her powers directly to Violet. That's why the time stopped, because Andarna made it happen.
And so for this moment in time, go ahead.
She says, but I gave my gift directly to you because I'm still a Feathertail. And the next bomb freaking drops when you're like, holy shit. And Darna's a baby.
And Violet's pissed.
Yeah, she's so mad at Tarn Sigale. Like, what the fuck? You let a baby bond?
You let a juvenile bond, a juvenile train for war. And he just says, we were mature at much faster rate than humans. As if, like, Violet, who is, like, a mere 18 years old, is mature. But sure. Right. And I'm not sure anyone lets Andarna do anything.
Facts.
Yeah, she makes her own rules.
Sounds like
She'll be a full grown in a year or two, but some are slower than others, Sigale answers. And if I thought she actually bond, I would have objected harder to her right of benefaction. This whole part, it gets me so good. Okay. So then she goes on, and Darna says, I have lots of elders. Her parents passed before hatching. So But she doesn't have enough. She says, Terrence has not enough to keep you off the threshing field. Feathertails don't bond because their power is too unpredictable, unstable.
The same way you wouldn't hand a toddler your signet, would you, wing leader?
Gods, no, I could barely control it as a first year. It's odd to imagine Zayden not ever not being in control. Hell, I'd pay good money to see him lose it, to be the one he lost it with. Nope, I shut that thought down immediately.
But Indarna goes on, she's telling Violet, like, this is why I chose you. Because, the humans don't know Feathertails are babies. They don't know that we could directly give you our gifts. They would burn us out. They would kill us off and just be greedy and use our gifts. I know you're not going to do that. So that's why I chose to do this. This is why I chose you. Like, just how sweet.
But then we also learn, like, the really notable thing about Indarna. So she is giving this gift directly, but because she is so small, it wears her out so quickly. So she is now at a greater risk of burning herself out too. So she asks her, you can stop time. And she said, and now we can stop time. She blinks slowly, and I can feel exhaustion wafting off of her. She says, in small increments. And Zayden echoes slowly, in small increments. And Indarna, and if I use it too much, I can kill you. Kill us. She stands on all four paws, because I know you won't.
Sweet baby Indarna. And they're like, you cannot tell a single soul. This is our secret. This stays with all of us. This is the only time we talk about this. Done and done.
The fear,
it's just
though.
sad. Yeah. So, Indarna's exhausted. They're like, okay, get some sleep. Thank you. And they all make the promise that they won't tell anybody about this. They've all agreed that this will not be spoken of and will not be talked about with anyone else. And they're walking back, and Zayden says, we need to figure out how the unbonded cadets got into your room. And this is when Violet decides to trust him and tell him the truth.
Really, really trust him.
And this is a whole who did this to you? Because he says, at some point, you and I are going to have to start trusting each other, Sorengale. The rest of our lives depend on it. Now tell me who.
Who did this to you?
Let's wrap this up, Callie. Chapter 20 summary. Go, go, go.
I can't breathe. Okay. The next day, Fitzgibbons reads Oren's name from the death roll, and Violet has little sorrow for his role in her attack. As everyone stands in formation, Zayden is quick to make changes to their lineup. He reassigns Liam from tail section to flame section to act as a bodyguard for Violet. Yes! God, I love Liam. Liam is also a child of the rebellion and very close friends with Zayden. At the news, Violet is, frankly pissed. She knows this is a reflection of how weak they view her and is not happy with the changes made, but also the tethering of her relationship now. Not happy. After Fitzgibbons has stepped down from the podium, everyone is shocked to see Commandant Panchek step up. Something is up, and they are all about to find out what really happened the night before. A breach of codex has occurred. Will the accuser please step forward? As Zayden steps up on the dais, Violet sinks a little when realization hits that this is about her. Zayden recalls the attack on Violet in her dorm room. I'm going to leave that part out. Silence falls.
Good.
I gotta stop.
Good. No, let's.
I have so much more.
Just do it.
I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
Let's just do it. The excerpt of chapter 20. Accusing a wing leader of wrongdoing is the most dangerous of all accusations. If you're right, then we failed as a quadrant to select the best wing leaders. If you're wrong, you're dead. Like, holy shit, the intensity is so real right now.
My favorite part of these excerpts, though, because we we're just talking about how important in the last chapter, Violet's dad says, like, it's not so much like what the story is, but who wrote it, who wrote the information that you're reading. So this one says, My Time as a Cadet, a memoir by General Augustine Melgren. I just love the little details. Okay. Oren Seifert. Fuck you. You're dead. We do not commend your soul to Malik.
100%. She said it word for word. That's what the book says.
That's exactly what the book said. I read it out of the book. Promise.
But, you know, they're doing the death roll. They're standing information, and Rhiannon is seething. I can't believe they tried to kill you while you were sleeping. Oh, it literally says Rhiannon's still seething. That's funny.
Yep.
It is just so good. But, you know, that's when Xaden starts making his little changes. Xaden comes over, and he's just as beautiful as he is lethal.
Oh, shit. This feeling right here, the way my breath catches and my entire body draws tight when he's near, is why I haven't taken anyone to bed or celebrated like the rest of the perfectly normal friends. This feeling is why I haven't wanted anyone ... else. Because I want him.
It happened. It finally happened. We have admitted our feelings. It's all good now.
Thank you. Thank you. We can live happily ever and after, because apparently they are never going to be happy in these books. I don't know. I'm still holding out hope.
It's fine.
It's fine. There's three more. We could maybe be happy at the end. Probably not.
Well, Violet's having her eternal battle of like, oh my god, I want him. Xaden's like, oh no, squad leader. Hey, there's a change in your squad here. No, they're gonna take Vaughn. You're gonna take Liam. And okay, we fucking love Liam, but Violet is
Liam.
pissed. She's like, I do not need a bodyguard.
No, I don't. And he just... he ignores me, facing Dane. Liam is statistically the strongest first year in the quadrant. He has the fastest time of the gauntlet, hasn't lost a single challenge, and is bonded to an exceptionally strong red dagger tail. Yeah, we need him in our squad. But I
Liam.
do not need a bodyguard.
Nope.
She's like this, like, cute little, like, annoying in the background. Like, it's like if you were to... That's what it is. Like Tom and Jerry type shit, where Tom's got his hand out and he's like, no, little mouse. And Jerry, like this tiny little mouse, is like, pew, pew, pew.
Let me
Violet. Yeah. I don't need a bodyguard. Pew, pew, pew.
And as we get our Riddick responses, usually we've got an Imogen response. Good luck with that approach.
Try yelling a little louder.
It's just so funny. And so, you know, Violet, Xaden, they kind of argue, whatever. We find out that Liam is in their squad. He's going to be sleeping in the room next to her. He's going to be her shadow. Because, you know, Xaden, he is not risking her again. But while this is all going on, Rhiannon says, what's going on with Panchek? And they realize that something is going on major that they have to shut up and be quiet about. And that's also when Dane just casually sees Violet's fucked up, bruised neck from Oren grabbing her. And he's like, wait, what? Bye? Like, no, Dane.
Wait, what? She says, I'm fine. Squad leader Ados. People are staring. She's just like, literally, get away from me. Crybaby Dane, go the fuck away.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, here we are. He's like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Like, it's all about me.
Oh, Dane. Oh, Dane, you selfish little bitch.
Yeah, crybaby Dane, go fucking cry in a corner. No one cares what you think. And literally, Rhiannon, someone's in trouble. Think Riddick finally got caught in Tyven Baron's bed?
So funny. The comedic relief. And, Violet's like, oh, I miss sex. And Riddick is like, Riddick literally looks at her and he's like, if you're looking for a little fun, I'm happy to oblige. She's like, I miss
Yes.
good sex.
I miss good sex. Sorry. Besides, apparently you're spoken for.
They're just so cute. I love that.
Uh,
And, they're over here having this banter again. And they're like, oh, shit. Something's
we gotta pay
going
attention.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the heart starts beating at this rate.
My heart is out of my chest. Xaden climbs up the steps of the dais and is now standing next to Commandant Panchek, as if that is not like the most terrifying thing to think after what just happened.
Yeah.
And what she has revealed. She immediately is like, fuck, this is about me. Shit.
Yeah. So, Xaden goes up there and tells them, I was alerted by my dragon. This is what I found. Garrick and Bodhi can back me up. They were here.
Mm-hmm.
As it was a matter of life and death, I personally executed the would-be murderers. Like, oh my gosh, just absolute chills. But the attack was orchestrated by a rider who fled before I arrived. A rider who had access to the map of where all the first years are assigned to sleep. And that rider must be brought to swift justice.
Swift justice. I call you to answer for your crime against Cadet Sorengale, wing leader Amber fucking Mavis.
And here's the fucking kicker. What the hell?
Give it to me.
Dane bites out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to rip my book in half. Fuck. No, Dane, fuck. Stop it.
Fuck.
And Dane's freaking out.
God.
But Rhiannon is like squeezing Violet's hand, like, I've got you. I'm here for you. It's okay. We're good.
Fucking Dane.
Get up there and tell everyone he's lying.
But he's
not. Are you
not.
fucking kidding me?
This whole part, like the realization again, like it's already been said to her that he's a rule follower and he won't break the rules or bend them for her. But now in this moment, the realization has hit and it's like fucking daggers to her heart. Like, oh, in this exact moment of I almost fucking died because she let them in and he still doesn't believe me. Like, what can I possibly say or do for him to understand? And at this point, she's just done. She's like, no.
And then Dane really has the audacity to hit her with that's impossible. Let me see. As he tries to fucking touch her face and use his signet to see it. Are you joking me?
The whole part, the next sentence of that, how have I forgotten that his signet allows him to see others' memories? How had I forgotten? Oh, like it's just
and how
so
much
easily...
he's touching her face. Give me the memory, he orders. And thank God Violet has her wits about her. Touch me without permission and you'll spend the rest of your life regretting it. I love that.
So now the wing leaders get together, trying to figure this out. But in comes our favorite dragons to the rescue. One by one, they land on their perch. These dragons scare the shit out of me. So now that they're all coming in at this exact moment too, like it's not an accusation. Shit's fucking real. And Sawyer even says, shit's about to get real.
Literally. But I love that he says that. Like when he says that, he's breaking formation. He goes to stand by her side, and Riddick comes to her back. So we've already got Rhiannon there supporting her.
Mhm.
Sawyer and Riddick have moved in to protect her. Like, that is squad pride right there. And Amber really has the audacity. You're using this to get revenge on my family. Really? Really?
For not supporting your father's rebellion. Literally, it's like disgusting how low that is. Like, just disgusting. But so now, Violet is begging Taryn to share what had happened because she knows if Dane accesses her memory, he can see more of what had happened and can see obviously what Indarna had did. So she's trying to protect Indarna in this moment. And so she's begging Taryn, and he says, a memory has never been shared outside of a mating bond. It's considered a violation. And she said, Xaden's up there fighting because I told him it was her. Help him. Only what they need to see. Taryn chuffs, and every dragon besides Gale stiffens on the wall, even Amber's. The riders are quick to follow, silence filling the courtyard, and I know they know. Oh, sweet fucking victory. That is some good piping hot fucking tea.
Wretch. Rhiannon's so fucking mad. And the whole
Dane
believe
pales.
me now at Dane.
Yep. Little fucking, you're supposed to be my oldest friend, Dane, my best friend. There's a reason I didn't tell you. Oh my god. It is no crime to rid the quadrant of the weakest rider. I did it to protect the integrity of my wings. I'll fucking kill you, bitch. But guess what? I don't have to.
We find you guilty, Amber Mavis, and as is our law, your sentence will be carried out by fire.
This whole next, like, I noted it because, again, Violet, our fucking queen. Maybe I could talk to Amber. Maybe we can still work through our issues. Maybe we can find common ground, turn our anger to friendship, or at least casual indifference.
Do you have to? I asked Tarn. This is our way. Yeah, she's just like, no, it's fine.
Please give her a chance. No. I let someone live once, and he almost killed you last night, Silver One. Justice is not always merciful. This part is sad, but like, bitch deserved it.
She did. And, you know, Tarn just full on scorches her. There's a scream that renders the air, and it's not from her. It is from her sweet baby dragon. That makes me so sad. But that's it. Xaden believed her. Xaden stood up for her. Justice was served.
And literally for it to be the one time that she like tells Xaden something, and for him to just like take it at face value and be like, yep,
yeah, like, swift action.
Swift action.
Whereas Dane would never. And that's the end of chapter 20. So I do have a small little dragon recap, and I have given my dragon recap an actual name.
Ooh!
So I have named my dragon section the Dragon Ball T.
Yes! Dragon Ball T! I love it! Yes!
So just a quick little recap. You know, we really, throughout the chapters, covered what we learned about dragonkind and their rules and all that, so we don't need to go back into that. But this is when we have our first sighting of Coda, who is General Melgan's dragon, you know, the oldest of the dead. But we learned that, or not, we don't learn this in the book, but I have learned that Coda actually translates in Scottish Gaelic to mean war. And Melgren's signet lets him see the outcome of any battle. So crazy,
Very
right?
Cool. Very cool. She knew what she was doing.
Oh, 100%. And then we get Rhiannon's dragon, who's a green dagger tail. And this name is so crazy. It's Fariga. But Callie and I just call her Scottish Fergie.
Scottish Fergie. Thank you.
which is great. We have Clyde, who is Amber's orange dragon, who is now in mourning.
Which is very heartbreaking. But only for the dragon, not for Amber, because fuck her.
Absolutely. We get Aotram is Riddick's brown swordtail, which means light, but not in the sense of like a light that shines. It's light, like lightweight, not heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a very interesting thing to see. We have Sawyer's dragon, who is a Sleeshak. He's a red swordtail, and his name translates to either chip or slice. You know, all these things will come into play later. And I realized last time when we were talking about Tarn and Darna, I didn't talk about what their names actually translate to. So Tarn translates to thunder, and Darna translates to the second honor, which is pretty cool.
Dun dun dun. But what does it mean?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
But it's provocative.
Gets the
In
people
this case,
going.
everything in this book gets the people going.
100%.
Or at least when it's spicy scenes, that gets me going. Mm-hmm.
I love it. But that was our episode. That's chapters 16 through 20. It was a good one. It was a big one. Lots of stuff happened.
Yeah, that was a beefy section, but we did it. This is going to be, if you stayed through this whole episode or even listened in increments, thank you. We appreciate all the love and support. And if you're not already, go follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and also leave us a review. That's what's going to help push out our episodes more. And so if you leave us a review, it would be greatly appreciated. And
Absolutely.
Had the time of my life fighting dragons with you.
Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you in the next episode covering chapters 21 through 25.